You got a lotion before and
reading this
after.
off and like it's nothing, just reading it off and counting and just going down the line. I'm like, are you kidding?
Me time. That's
Me
great.
time.
When I take care of me.
Wow. It's called getting to know myself.
Exactly.
Wow. Okay.
Lotion before and after, periodic
Like, you don't
showers.
have to buy yourself dinner before every time. It's just you.
Exactly. Candlelight dinner. Check out a few paintings.
As you can imagine, he was very proud of himself.
And then 2 hours of crying.
Only 2.
In fetal position.
He cries through the night. That's his sleep.
3 hours of me time, 2 hours of self-consolation, 30 minutes of self-loathing, and then I start my day.
And then I take a shower.
Drax. Can you describe to me what Kemmler looks like right now? Like what you're wearing and everything?
Right after his me time? Please don't.
What time
Right
is
now.
it? Like armored or what?
This will be as you're traveling.
As we're traveling. Okay, well, Kemmler has long hair, and it's brown, wavy, and a little bit unkempt because he's on the road. He's got a big beard that covers the majority of his chest, and it's full of silver and mithril little trinkets and pieces of metal. That sounds really lame, but they're all decorative. And it's really cool and badass. There's all kinds of braids and stuff in it. And his armor is like part mithril, part leather, because it's splint mail. So there's big plates of mithril with bands of leather down his torso.
Okay.
Does that help?
Any symbols or things? What am I trying to say?
Oh yeah,
Identifying marks or anything?
There's emblems of Moradin's insignia all over Kemmler. Or like at his shoulders, one on his shield, on his hammer. He's got an amulet shaped like that. There's probably all of like the weird napkin holder shaped pieces of metal in his beard have that on him.
Now I wonder what those are actually called. I know exactly what you're talking about. I just don't know what they're called.
Yeah, I can't think of what they're called.
Cochrane.
Cochrane, yes.
That'll work.
Pretty sure that's what they're called, right?
They are now.
They're called that because
Okay.
they're kind of like cock rings.
Kinda.
I'm unhappy with his mouse. Okay, so where do you guys want to start?
With
Where
the travel?
did we finish?
Listen now.
Sure.
Jason, where did we finish?
We were in Mirabar, and I don't know if we had actually gotten to where we were going, or if we were still on the path there.
Can we get a map to just get a refresher on the travel lines?
Yeah, it keeps opening up things every time I talk.
Okay, I'll tell you what. I've got a little few bullet points that I'll read off real quick. After slaying the blue dragon Lenithon, we spent an evening in the town's inn. Heinrich briefly snuck out of his room that night, scouring the site for battle souvenirs. While doing so, a strange halfling seemed to be watching him. The next
Oh,
morning,
that's
we
right.
spent getting to know Rin, discussing where all we came from and how we came to all be its on False Tower. We also discussed what to do about Iskander, eventually deciding to leave him. Eventually deciding that he was unlikely to have answers to the questions we had, and we buried his body. A sending spell from Lady Silverhand confirmed that the blue dragon mask we had was fake. The real one is at the Well of Dragons. We attempted our first teleportation with Kimmler casting Word of Recall to take us to Stonebridge. Something happened though while we did arrive at our destination. We also pulled a young woman with us. She was badly injured, bleeding, and likely suffering from further injuries from whatever magic was used. The woman was Blood Doll, evidenced by the fang marks on her neck. Her mistress, the vampire Sandasil, had sent her to tell us that Blagothicus's cloud castle had crashed somewhere in the spine of the world. They needed our help. We traveled to Mirabar, where we stocked up on winter gear for trekking into the mountains. And that's all I got.
Forgot about the rest or the last bit of that.
The doll?
The bad teleportation.
Oh, right.
So it didn't feel to you as if it was bad. It did feel as if it was possibly interfered with.
Well, then it was bad.
Yeah, but like not like your fault. So
I get it,
Like, you
but
didn't
it
do
was
anything
still
wrong,
a
but yeah.
bad teleportation. I
I
get
can't
you.
find the map. I found this map.
This is the one I remember.
The
There was
overland
another.
map.
There was another Faerun one that kind of showed where we went, because we went straight up north, and then you kind of travel over to this.
Yeah.
I remember the one you were talking about. Yeah.
You
I
don't
might
have
not
the
have
major
copied it
world
over.
map?
I didn't grab everything from my old computer, so
Oh.
maybe not.
I can't blame you. A fresh start's nice.
How dare you?
All right. So somebody roll me a d20, Heinrich, and Kemmler roll me a d8.
Fuck.
A D8. There do be your 8. Or 4.
Okay, so it is freezing. You guys said you did buy some winter clothes. You got snowshoes, so you are able to go a little bit faster than normal. Without the means of traversing, you can do 5 miles per day. However, it's 10 miles per day with snowshoes.
Nice.
Well, yippity dee da doo day.
And I scaled this out so that it is 2 things per day.
2 grid squares per day. Good lord, this map we're looking at?
Kai, I also have on here, just from what you told us, the temperature was supposed to be like a high of 0 and 4-hour travel days because of the bad weather.
The fuck
Yeah,
is
so this
this?
ball. It's a goat licking its balls.
Oh, it's
Awesome.
the goat that we couldn't figure out.
Snowball. How did Snowball end up here?
You
It
mean the
is.
sheep?
It's appropriate. The sheep.
Josh's what?
I know.
He's
In our
right
last
up there.
session, we had a sheep that Drax was constantly accidentally calling a goat. So
Oh,
It's a goddamn
that's right.
goat!
it's a goddamn goat, you fool!
So, where do you guys want to move? You can move 2 squares.
So Ollie is shaking in his boots and just says, well, how about the mountain?
Sounds good.
Isn't that what we were told? That we were going to the mountain?
I don't know. She said something Milclose Glacier. I guess that's where we are. I'm gonna. Can I cast Prestidigitation on myself, on like my clothes to warm them up a little bit? Maybe is it something that can be done?
Yeah, maybe. Kemmler also has protection from energy.
I do.
And I would say that in this case, you would be able to kind of just like keep that up, and for you guys, just to kind of not full strength, but enough to kind of keep you, you know, resistant a little bit to the cold.
So
Nice.
here's what prestidigitation says. It's you chill, warm, or flavor up to 1 cubic foot of non-living material for an hour.
We're going to Flavor Town.
So you're crushed.
So
When you say 0, do you mean like 0 Fahrenheit?
0 degrees is what I mean.
Well, 0 Celsius would be kind of stupid.
Oh,
And say this is the same people that made Horde of the Dragon Queen. So when they say 0 degrees, they don't even know.
well, it's just I
They
live.
mean it's cold.
When you said 0 degrees Celsius, I'm like, okay, I live at 0 degrees Celsius all the time. It's not that bad. I mean, sure, you want your winter jacket, but it's not going to kill you. It's 32 degrees Fahrenheit, right?
I'm pretty sure they
So I have
mean
to ask.
Fahrenheit.
And that's a little colder.
Every other measurement is American, so I would assume.
American, really? Is that what you call that?
I don't know.
Imperial?
That's the one.
It's all American. We
That's
invented
such an
everything.
American thing to say.
We invented
Fuck
everything,
America.
Saf. Don't you
It's
know?
not that we invented anything. We just took things that exist and just made them ours and made them a little more stupid.
That's true. I'll allow that.
Well, when you guys figure out your spell things and get us a little bit warmer, you realize this deafening noise finally stops, and it was my metal rattling together because I was shaking so hard. Just all of my plate. Just...
Oh, it's still cold.
Well, I'm
It's
not
still-
shaking uncontrollably now.
Yeah. Cast heat metal on your ass plate.
I definitely have leather padding under the plate because that you could like get serious skin damage from that shit. So yeah, but yeah, definitely rattling going on.
All right.
So if we're the goat,
So what do you think? A casting or two every day to be able to do protection from energy to make this less intense?
It's gonna be like it'll be a concentration spell that'll keep you guys from dying of frost, but it's not gonna be straight up cold resistance, and it's not gonna be it's not gonna use up your slot.
Oh, okay. Well, that's what I meant, is so that it's not protection from energy, it's just making this tolerable.
Yeah,
as
you're just not
opposed
gonna
to-
die, basically.
Right. Right.
that's a nice
That's
thing
kind
to
of
have.
the point.
But are we,
0 degrees Fahrenheit.
losing? We're not losing health though either.
Even on the sunniest days, the temperature rises to. Even on the sunniest days, the temperature rises above 0 degrees Fahrenheit only in the afternoon, giving you about 4 hours of safe travel time.
4 hours of safe
Ooh.
travel time. Jesus.
Because everything else is just so fucking cold, you're gonna die.
My God.
Come on,
So,
0
any-
Fahrenheit's not that bad.
that's the high.
It's not
Really
nice,
true.
but it's not that bad. Like, so how bad
Well,
are we
it's-
talking here?
Well,
Because
it's
if we
not
have
that
on
it's that
appropriate
bad,
clothing,
but you have to consider the conditions we're in, which is deep snow and
Wind,
high winds.
Okay.
So-
elevation.
It may be
and that's
0
what I'm asking.
degrees,
What's
but
our
that
wind
wind
chill and
is-
all that stuff? What's our wind?
Right.
We're high up the mountains too.
Let's go over
this
to our
is basic
weatherman,
information.
Kalania.
So, it's super cold. 0 degrees, you only go when it's above 0 degrees, and then you get the 10 miles per day. If you want to travel more, you are, but then we're going to have constitution checks.
So we're basically only going 4 hours of walking per day before we have to seek shelter. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
God, that sounds horrible. Like, beyond the fact that those conditions are just awful, how fucking boring would that get? 20 hours
yeah.
a day?
We're
Just sitting there
spending 20
freezing
hours
your
a
ass
day.
off?
We're just gonna.
Well,
this is
you
gonna
know
be
what
like
though? But once we get into our little igloo or whatever we're in, I don't know.
What do we
Once
have?
we dig our
Play
our
cards?
hole. You know, we sort of
Oh, I
fire,
was
we
like,
eat, we
just
you know, we
took Liam's
somebody.
tiny hut for this. Nope. That was
It's actually listed right here. Spells such as protection from energy or Liamon's tiny hut can prove invaluable.
Well, at least we got
Too
one
bad
of the two.
Josh is not here.
That's all right. We got Ren. We'll be
Right.
all right.
Just her
So
warm
Right,
personality will have to do it.
Well, we can all cuddle for warmth too.
I like that. That's good. We're stuck with
Okay,
the warmth of
so-
our personalities and protection from energy.
One more thing,
Uno mas thingero.
or one more square, wherever you guys want to go.
You
Oh,
guys go ahead.
I moved one, so somebody else move one.
Go ahead,
How about
Casey.
that?
Nightfall
Sounds
as
good
well,
to me.
freeze to death.
I
Oh,
moved to the
Jesus.
R on the map. We're
So-
still over the map overland.
Do you guys do any special preparations or anything?
I will individually cast. Oh, there's 4 of us now.
No, he needs to set up
I
a
have to
watch.
return to my
at least.
computer. Yeah. Yeah, because of animals and other things.
Orcs. They told
That's
us
what we need.
orcs.
We need to
We bought tents,
what's
right?
the word I'm looking for?
I'm sorry, what was
I
that,
don't
Ren?
know.
We need to charm animals so that they come into our tents and keep us warm. But that's
be
it.
nice.
That's where it ends. It's just for spooning.
Everyone turns to hide.
hey, hey, now there's some lines that need to be
Spoon your
drawn.
animal, and that's that.
Some lines need to be drawn, and I'm just glad we know where that one is now.
So you guys remember the bridge at the tower, right? Where it kind of like fell off into nothingness and you just like at the star field?
Right.
It is that times 1,000 when you look up. Just crystal clear. This seems to be one of the stormy nights. All the clouds and everything have kind of passed away. There's a little bit of wind still, but it's just crystal clear, and it's like there's no moon, but it is almost bright enough from starlight that it's kind of easy to see everything. It is one of the most amazing things you've seen. You are a little disappointed though that there doesn't seem to be any kind of northern lights happening. There's a little bit of kind of different colors from the twinkling stars, but not as much as you would have expected, and not as much as Kemmler would have remembered from his time in Mistral Hall.
When it comes time for Ollie to have his watch in the middle of the night and this clear night, he's going to take out that spyglass and just try and use it like a telescope and just looking around and not paying attention. He's not really on watch the way he's supposed to be. He's far more, his attention's focused on the skies.
Well,
Sure.
before we even get to that point, when we get to where we're going to set up camp, and Hind comes trudging up at the rear, and he looks at Ren, who is right in front of him, and he says, have you seen Ollie? I haven't seen him for a little bit. And I turn around to look for him, and you can see Ollie in my backpack, sound asleep. And I turn back around. I'm like, I really haven't seen him for a while. And he was right behind me a second ago.
He's getting to that
Oh, man.
toasty heated metal.
So since I would have recognized that this isn't the usual kind of night, is that like something that's off or unusual?
No. It's just a very clear night.
Ah,
Okay. Anything else that first night?
I can't help but wonder if perhaps we ought to be on the road if we have some time, even though it's dark. Is it warm enough without the wind that we could actually make some time?
There's no real roads around here, and you do see signs of other passage. But a lot of it's kind of like snow drifted over and everything. So there is kind of a general path leading towards this way, but nothing, no kind of road that would speed your travel.
Could we push through that 4-hour window though? Just another hour or so on the road, or towards our mountain there.
I could go a little bit further.
Kai misunderstood. What I was asking was whether or not, because we had a break in the weather, we should actually pack up and try to make some time. That's what I was asking
Sorry.
them. And That's why I asked him about the road. I'm like, what will there be a road magically in the morning? Like, why are you telling me about a road right now? So he misunderstood me. And so I wanted to clarify.
Do you guys want to
So sorry.
keep traveling?
I think I misunderstood too, but sure.
If there's a
So-
so we're talking like in the middle of the night, kind of the weather, kind of.
Yeah, she was asking y'all's opinion on whether or not you thought that the weather was safe enough to actually pack up and go, since we had a lack of wind and bad weather.
Oh,
That's. I was just about to ask that.
I will say it's still dark out.
I
Oh, no,
could go a little
it's
further.
pretty bright from the starlight because it's crystal clear.
It seems like a nice night. I'm down for a walk.
It's it's that sort of kind of like mischievous cold. Like it doesn't look like it should be cold, but it's the still cold.
I'm up for it if you guys are.
It might be a nice break from having that glaring sunlight in our eyes all day.
I agree. Yeah, let's do it.
I don't know. Traveling around in the snow can be rather treacherous work.
Have some faith. You cleric.
Haha, you're a funny guy, Hind.
You make a good point.
I try.
But seriously, it can be dangerous.
We can handle it. We've been through worse.
Okay.
Tell you what, Kimler, first sign
Make
of
sure
trouble,
your shoe-
we'll
Go ahead.
we'll stop for the night. Is that alright?
I just hope that trouble isn't too bad.
We aren't even actually up
If
into
that's
the
what you
mountains
guys
yet.
want to do.
We'll be all right.
All right.
So you guys gonna go?
Yeah. Someone who
I
hasn't
guess
moved
so.
it yet.
Everybody, roll me d20.
Yeah.
This is not
Ah,
good.
balls.
Dragon Slayer. I like it.
Keep a tortilla. Wrong with you? Things at the most inopportune moment.
Do you want me to roll for you, Drax?
He's eating his
you'd like.
tortilla, man.
I was heating a tortilla.
Oh, eating his
Got a
tortilla.
12. Okay.
Probably better
so,
than I would've got.
Which direction do you want to
Nope,
guys go?
it wasn't.
Um,
That's okay. 12 it is.
Yeah, somebody that hasn't moved it, give us a square.
I'm the
Let's
woman. You
head
don't want me
directly
choosing
to
your
the
direction.
east. That's one.
And one more.
Navigators, I don't know. There's no women listening to
Anybody?
this that are going to hate me for that.
Can we move diagonally? Is that established already?
This
Yes,
is
we
that
can move one
conversation?
diagonal.
this
Yeah.
is kind of new ground. Yeah.
I don't like that this keeps doing stuff when I trigger my mic.
Oh, it's so good to be back. It's been too long, guys.
It
Almost
has
a
been
year.
a long
And it's
I
nice.
agree.
Excuse me as I look up the rules for exhaustion.
Oh no.
It was. Come on, are you kidding me? When we rest for 20 hours a day, let me tell you what you can do with the rules for exhaustion. We are so cabin feverish, and we need to get out and move.
I'm really glad she's on
Exhaustion.
our
Why?
side.
Because the sun's not up. Is that an indicator of whether or not we're exhausted?
Ollie, make me an intimidation check with advantage.
Oh my god, that's great.
Ollie? Ollie? Okay.
Apparently, because my intimidation's not working.
I'm scared.
Has a 22.
Okay, so Heinrich rolled a 3 on his Constitution check to get exhausted, but Ollie rolled a 20. And Ren's screaming at the environment, combined with Ollie's straight up luck, was enough to encourage Hind to keep moving and to fight through it rather than get exhausted.
Oh god.
Ren would have offered to carry him.
Oh, this is so much.
Still can't find the name rules.
Why did I ever wear plate armor?
It's not like you draw your energy from the sun. Get moving and stop complaining like we
My mother was a plant.
Actually, to be fair, I don't think I've ever seen him move at night.
True. Every time
Not
we camp,
even when he sleeps.
when
He
we
wakes up in the same
camp,
position he
I
goes to
just
sleep.
immediately crash.
There it is.
Not even when I sleep.
Okay.
Wow.
Everybody roll me d20 and then move 1 square.
Okay, I moved it last, so someone else this time.
Think that
Uh-oh.
leaves Seth.
I just rolled a 1. I don't think
Seth,
she needs
roll
to
me a
move us
D8.
anyway.
Uh-oh.
Do.
All right, I'll move this one.
Yes. Alrighty. So, it's more overcast the second day. You are kind of moving closer. You guys are going towards that ravine, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. So coming. It sounds like it's coming from above you, but you think it might just be, that it might just be kind of echoes. But you hear some singing. And Kemmler especially notices it as dwarvish singing.
Can I hear what it's saying?
It's sounds like a happy little tune, kind of a spoils of war kind of song.
Can I tell if it's male or female?
It's not.
It is a large group.
Oh shit.
Maybe they saw where this thing crashed.
That's not entirely unpleasant. You guys want to check it out?
If they're locals,
You said like a victory song, like maybe. Maybe they just killed a bunch of people or something.
What do you think, new girl? Should we check it out?
New girl, indeed. And always.
well,
I
I'd
like
rather
you.
talk.
Let's do
I'd
this.
rather talk to the dwarves than the orcs.
Absolutely.
That's fair.
Those are two entirely different conversations.
That they are.
I think the second one doesn't actually involve conversation.
I like a little foreplay.
So there are some kind of like moderate-sized rocks that you might be able to hide under, but most otherwise it's pretty open. Do you guys just want to make yourselves visible, or kind of take cover, or start killing people?
Can I see?
I need
anything
to
with
have
my
a better understanding of the situation in front of us. I don't think I've quite wrapped my head around it.
So you're
Good
heading
point.
towards this. It's basically a snowy plain. There's some like kind of large rocks, large boulders, and that kind of stuff around. And you're heading towards this opening in this great, like you've seen the White Wall from Game of Thrones, right?
And there's an opening there in this wall.
It's not like an opening. It's more like the opening to like a giant ravine, and
Like a
it's just
trench. Like
below.
you have a wall, and then you have this one part that's more of a ravine that you could walk into.
A canyon, sort of.
A canyon or a gorge.
I mean, we got it on the
Something
map
like that.
there.
Yeah, but where the mountains coming out, yeah, like that thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're walking
It's like
toward
the glaciers
that
of
thing.
Gina.
Okay.
Can I see
That makes
this
more
group with
sense
my
than anything before said. No, I'm just kidding.
Can I see this group of dwarves with my spyglass?
It seems to be kind of coming around the corner, sort of thing.
Oh, okay.
Might these be dwarves from Mithril Hall? Because that isn't crazy far away.
Might be. Roll me a
It's
check
more like
of some type.
Well, thematically speaking, wouldn't
Wisdom check.
Kemmler be like overly excited right now? How long has it been since he's been in the company of other dwarves?
well, Mirabar is a dwarven city.
Some dwarves don't get along with other dwarves.
True, but
'Cause screen doors don't fit in the same places as front doors.
screen doors don't fit on submarines.
What's a submarine?
It was a
Oh,
song.
shit.
Never mind.
Oh man.
You beat me to the punch every time now. It's not fun anymore. Come on, Kemmler, they're your buddies. Let's go check it out. You're always bitching about how you have no other dwarves to drink with.
That's true.
I suppose we can go take a look. So we go take a look.
Smaller
That's what
monitor,
everybody
hold on.
wants to do.
While we've got a second, Saf, did Kai show you Winter Hind? As a
Oh,
picture.
goodness.
I painted a new mini that's Hind in winter status.
Oh, nice. Hang on, let me look.
Does the gorge have all kinds of billowing smoke like that?
No, that looks really cool though, right?
Oh, that is
does.
amazing.
That's nice.
Very cool.
That is nice.
Very cool. Very, very cool. I like his badass big fat blade he's got there.
Oh yeah, thank you. Yep. On the forearm guards, you can see the color doesn't show up very well, but it's red, then blue, then green. They're dragon scales from the kills we've got so far.
Hang on 1 second. Everybody get really quiet. Someone besides Hine say something.
Something?
Something. Damn it.
I don't know what just happened to my team speak. Everybody got quiet.
Do you need me to turn me up, or is it something else?
It's
You guys
not
are really
just
far
Kaizen this
away.
time, sounds like.
Maybe.
Remember?
I am eating, so
Holy cow, thunderstorm outside.
Say something now.
Something now?
Now? Damn it.
One more
what
time.
about now?
One more time?
Checking 1, 2, 3.
And
Can you
again.
hear me now?
One more time.
Good.
I don't know
Testing.
what's going on with it, but I just adjusted it.
Okay.
That was weird.
Are we good?
Yes.
Nice.
Alright, so
Good.
how many
hear me now?
dwarves are coming charging at us over the hilltop blades? Over their
Weapons
heads.
brandished.
There's one orc.
What?
Oh shit.
So we've kind of entered into the ravine or gone to the mouth of it there, and there's an orc there? Am I understand this correctly? Why?
Yes.
What? Why?
Why though? That's
But
what
why,
I
though?
would say.
Do we still hear the dwarves singing?
You do, yes.
Ren, just looking around. Where's the singing coming from? Can you tell?
Yeah, it's coming from kind of the ravine. This orc has kind of walked across, and he's got like big wolf pelts, like basically like a wolf pelt on each shoulder, and then like another one on his head.
Does
and
he
seems
appear?
to be.
Sorry, go ahead.
Does he what?
I was going to ask, does he appear to be holding a weapon?
Nope, he's got two like large like fluid sacks, like really big wineskins, in each hand.
Is he stumbling about at all?
He is shuffling a little bit, and he's not really looking up. Doesn't seem to have noticed you guys yet.
Well, I think we know where this is gonna go.
I don't know. This might not be bad.
Is it odd for him to be traveling alone?
Is it a full orc? Or a half orc?
Full orc. Although
I don't know.
the skin
Kemmler's
is
gripping
little,
his.
Sorry, his skin is a little.
skin's a little more bluish than greenish.
Maybe they captured him or something, making him carry their stuff. I don't know.
No. All dwarves hate orcs.
What better reason than to imprison them and enslave them?
Achoo!
Hate them to the
That's
point
you.
where they're
Thank
not
you.
even good to be slaves. They're too stupid.
Well, we're not going to find out here. I'm going to start walking that way and just wait and see if anybody tries to stop me.
I'm right there with you. I'm about to call out to him. Should we say something?
Kemmler's just kind of.
I'm not convinced what we ought to do at this time. I don't know if we ought to just continue on.
Hey
What
there!
if he isn't alone? Oh, well, for that idea.
Who there?
You shout that 2 or 3 times, and he just keeps kind of shuffling a little bit. About the 3rd time you say that, he kind of stops, and he kind of shakes his head a little bit, and he starts to turn around, and that's when you guys notice that the singing has stopped.
And that's when you guys notice he's actually a dragon.
Right.
Kemmler's got his shield on and his hammer ready.
Where are the
Not going
dwarves
for-
at? I yell at the orc as at
And-
least me and Ollie continue forward. I'm assuming you guys are with us
Ren
too.
summons,
I'm following.
Ren
with a little
summons
bit of
her
distance.
Shadow's Breath. She reaches out
And
her
roll me a
hand
d20.
and calls for her Shadow's Breath, and her sword appears, and she pulls it out.
Ooh.
So as you call that, from the ravine, you hear one lone voice yell out, "Right here!" And that's when you see about 8 dwarves start charging right at this orc.
Well, is this your prey? I'm yelling at the.
They are single-mindedly rushing right at the orc, and they don't seem to notice you yet.
I'm not going to try and stop them.
Yeah, I don't
No.
see any reason why we would. Yeah.
I am not drawing a weapon. I am very much trying to look as innocent as Ollie can possibly look.
Just a bunch of hikers.
So basically, snow is just getting flung up everywhere as this ball of dwarves approaches the thing, and they just thunder into him. One of these
Dwarf
ladders
ball.
kind of bursts open, and you see it even just kind of freezes in midair, and like this big, scintillating explosion of water as one bursts open. The other one kind of rolls off to the side. But the whole ball of dwarves hits the orc and then starts rolling, picking up
Dwarf
snow
ball.
from around it. Yeah,
Oh god.
rolling towards you. You're seeing hammers kind of, flying in and out of the ball. There's, dust and
Dodge.
smoke and all sorts of stuff like that.
Dodge!
And that's when you start seeing the, like the wolf things flying off to the side. You see like an orc
Wolf
arm
things?
at one, or the wolf pelts that the thing was wearing. And it basically limbs start to kind of fall off, but not all of them. And this
God.
Like
ball
fall
kind of
off?
fly out of this rolling ball of mayhem.
Like you just see the arms sticking out, but they're still attached to the orc.
Oh, nope, not attached.
Oh dear.
Let me just stop you right now. Just imagine an old cartoon scene where it's just a big
Exactly.
ball of dust with occasional limbs, except instead of like joking limbs, these are actual limbs flying out.
Yes, and this is rolling right at you guys.
Well, I
Could we-
moved.
I just kind of
Yeah.
stand there and look at it for a second. I'm like, could we justifiably call that a hairball?
No!
Because
Move!
of the beards? No? Okay, alright,
I-
we're moving.
Beard ball? I don't know.
Oh, nice.
Metal ball.
Does anybody stand your ground?
You know what?
Stand my ground against what? A giant ball of orc and dwarf?
Hindwood, he knows he's not going to move fast enough with all his shit and his plate mail.
Ollie moves out of the way.
As soon
And
as
just-
it gets close enough, Ren just jumps straight up in the air. Straight up.
That's so badass.
Roll me a strength check.
All right, here we go. Fucking shit! I'm gonna use luck. First luck ever.
You're
Yeah.
gonna need it.
Come on. That's better.
Ooh.
20. 20.
So, do you want to describe what happens, or do you want me to?
I don't know what you rolled, so you go ahead.
So the ball starts coming towards you, and Hyde kind of spreads his stance a little bit, and he kind of puts
Pulls
the
the
tip
shield.
of the poly. Are you doing your shield?
Yeah, shield for sure.
Okay, so you kind of one arm the shield and kind of lunge it down into the snow a little bit, sort of brace, and as you see it coming, and you judge that it's maybe not, it's losing kind of energy, and as it comes up to you, you're kind of leaning back just a little bit, and you kind of peek around the edge of your shield, then you kind of lift your foot up and just kind of hold your foot up, and it just rolls and rolls and rolls until it hits your foot and just kind of comes to a stop. And what's left of the orc is laying there, and there's this crazy-eyed dwarf kind of standing on its knees with a warhammer up in his hand, and is just about to plunge down on its head, and he finally looks up and sees you. And then the other dwarves are kind of standing up off to the side and everything, and the dwarf just looks up, and he keeps following the shield up, and then he keeps looking up even more, kind of following your chest up and everything like that. And he just kind of looks at you, and he's nods, and he just kind of backs up a little bit, and then motions you to finish the deed.
I'll look over at Kemmler because I'm not entirely positive.
If there's any hesitation at all, Ollie shoots the thing in the head.
No, before you shoot, you just
Go
out of
ahead.
nowhere, Kemmler's hammer just comes down and smashes the orc's head.
Yep, that's about right.
And there's just there's a sickening crunch, and it kind of echoes off the hills a little bit, but there's no other sound, And then there's this kind of. Go ahead.
Before anything happens, just in the silence, Kemmler just raises his hammer. Death to the orcs!
And as you say that, all the other dwarves, all stand up and they're death to the orcs!
Yeah!
there's great commotion everywhere.
I just mumble under my breath, the orc is definitely dead.
Oh, yeah.
Ollie had that crossbow brought out about halfway, and as this is going on, he's just slowly putting it back behind his back, and he's death to the orcs! He's got one hand in the air.
Immediately, I'm hanging out with
Nice.
the dwarves. These dwarves
they
look familiar.
They seem to be more wild than your brethren would have been. They do recognize you, and they see the signs of Morden. One of them comes over and is "You're from Mithrahall?"
Aye, where do you be from?
We're from Emcause. We're the miners up here on the glacier.
Would I be
Seems you're a
familiar
little
with that?
late. You would have known that there were dwarves up here, but maybe not. But these guys are kind of stick to themselves a little bit.
Okay.
When he tells us that we're late, Ollie just pipes up and says, we got here as fast as we could.
I'm standing over
what do we be
near
late to?
Ollie and Ren, and I just snuffle a little bit. They grow up so fast.
What? What are you blubbering about there, Hind?
Nothing. Nothing. Nothing at all.
Okay. So again, what do we be late to?
Well, your brothers were here. I remember seeing that symbol all over the place. They got quite the
From
haul.
Mithrahall?
Yeah, yes, of course.
What? No way.
About
Are you-
when?
A week ago, maybe? This is our second
Oh.
trip. We got most of the rest of it.
Good to know. Sad
Most
to have
of-
missed my brethren.
Wait, the rest of what?
Sorry, say again?
The rest of what?
He's like, "Oh, right," and he kind of does the whole fingers in the mouth whistle thing, and that's when you hear kind of like jingling and jangling, and a cart comes around the corner. There's a couple more dwarves. They're kind of sitting on that, and the cart is just full of coins and art objects and things like that.
Oh,
I think I know what this is from.
you guys have been
I-
busy.
By
I had
any
no idea.
chance, did this happen to come off of a cloud castle?
No, this is from the peak up there, and they all kind of turn to point.
What's up on the peak?
Bless me.
And one of the smaller ones on the thing, he seems to be a
Uh-huh.
one of the other ones stands up, and he's like, "How come you guys got to have all the fun?
What fun?
Killing that orc." This is obviously a younger one, and he's struggling to pick up like this big two-handed hammer. It looks like it's gold, so it's probably not going to be very strong. But he's like, I had this. I could have helped.
I'm sure you'll get your chance.
It just happened to be there.
Oh,
I'm
all
certain
right.
I consider bashing an unarmed orc as fun. But to each his own, I suppose. I really can't
As
even
she
imagine what
says
I've just
that-
seen.
As she says that, I feel like all of the dwarves, Kembler included, kind of turn to her and give her a weird look, like crazy.
I'm kind of with her.
There's like a great intake of breath, and you hear like everything just gets quiet, and there's like this big, and you can kind of even hear almost like wind chimes, all of the little decorations in everyone's beards, kind of, chinkling and jingling. Yeah.
I'll step a little closer to
Yes.
Ren. I'm kind of with her. Was he a part of something bigger? Because that seemed a little one-sided.
They're orcs.
And all the other
And
dwarves are
orcs
like,
just
they're orcs.
spread evil.
All of them.
They're all nodding.
Was that evil
No-
in those
no,
wine
not at all.
pouches he had?
Are you
Um,
telling me that there is
really
absolutely
high.
no chance that that orc was anything other than evil? What had he done to
I
any one of you?
suppose there was a small chance. There was a very, very small chance.
Well, may I ask you a question? Would you like to be killed just because you're a dwarf without anyone asking you anything? He's a dwarf. He must die.
That is kind of what orcs would do.
That's exactly what orcs would do.
Would every orc?
Most orcs.
It's not like
Especially
he
in
was
this region.
outnumbered.
Maybe we should
You
ask
could
the
have
next one we
asked
see,
him or
huh?
questioned before you went out
Fine.
and just killed it.
We could ask the next one we
Orcs
see.
are orcs. They're more animal than being.
We have
So
killed some
most of the
before,
other
and
dwarves
that did
are
seem
kind
to
of
be
looking.
true.
So,
The youngest one though does kind of he puts down the golden warhammer and he's like, for all of my 50 years, they've been plundering our homes. They all need to die.
so what's exactly up on the mountain that you guys got all this treasure from?
The dragon, of course.
White dragon?
Yeah, biggin. Hasn't been around a while though. We just walked right in and took it all. Your friends from Mythical
What's-
Hall, they were here last week.
Do you mind if I ask what's the dragon's name? Do you know?
I don't know. And he kind of turns to the other ones, and they kind of all conferencing, and they're like, shit heel, something like that.
Ah, shit!
No way.
How'd you say?
Probably not wise to steal when you don't know who you're stealing from.
Especially when
Ollie-
it's us you're stealing from.
Ollie's face just goes white, and when
That's appropriate.
Kimmler and Heinrich say that, because Glasheel?
Yeah.
That might be it. Yeah.
We killed
He's always
that
trying
guy.
to-
We
around
killed
here.
Glaziel.
You did what?
We killed him.
And the dwarves that have been fighting are closer to you, and they kind of like all walk in up to you, almost beard to beard. Say again, what you do?
I'd show my armor like I have in my photo that I've got the dragon scales, but there isn't a white one. I say, we fought Glasio. We weren't able to recover anything from what was left of him, but we killed him.
That's right. And as he finishes that, Kemmler's just like, right, we killed Glacial.
They all kind of stop a little bit, and like looking back and forth, and then again, there's this huge, synchronous cheer. They're like, "Hey, kill Glacial!" And out of nowhere, just mugs of beer appear, and they're just like kind of thrust in all of your hands.
I need that spell.
It's not a spell. It's
I
an
know,
innate ability.
Yeah.
Then I need a dwarf for a best friend.
You have
So
one.
I
That's
don't think these guys are gonna care. But Ollie has been carrying this thing around and showing it to anyone that'll listen anyway. But he pulls out the writ of investigative powers signed by the Lord's Alliance and shows them. You see, they assigned us to look into the matter with the cult of the dragon, and Glacial was one of the dragons that we've fought.
That is very, very interesting.
Question, gentlemen.
Totally
You
didn't
killed
expect
the
this.
dragon. Does that mean that the dragon's hoard belongs to the person who killed it?
Everybody
Well,
kind of looks mysteriously and suspiciously at Ren.
I mean, at the very least, the horde does normally go mostly to the triumphant party.
Well, I'll ask.
So they're plundering your treasure, is that right?
That was the point I was making before all the cheering broke out.
Is there anything left up there? I asked one of the dwarves.
All I can say is thank you for bringing our
Possession.
treasure down from the mountain.
Possession is 110% of the law.
It's very kind
They're
of
kind
you.
of pushing the cart back a little bit.
Well, let's calm down a little bit. There's no reason for this to get violent. Was there anything else left up there?
This was the last trip. We've been taking the treasure out for weeks.
Well, as you can see, we don't really have a cart. Maybe we fill our pockets a little bit just for our share? And then we forget that it ever happened.
Your share. It's all yours.
Well, I mean, realistically, even if they were to just give it to all of us, give it all to us, like, I can't carry that.
They've been carrying it out for weeks. Carts and carts for weeks and weeks.
Mithra Hall too, and Adbar.
If it weren't for you, there wouldn't be any treasure to take out. They owe it all to you. So the least they can do is give you the treasure with the cart that they have in possession at the moment.
I'm looking at the dwarves. How are they taking this?
The fact of the matter is, we're going to look for the Cloud Castle. We don't have time to be taking possession of any carts, even if we wanted to.
Whether or not you take possession doesn't mean it isn't yours. Do with it as you please.
And I believe that they're already distributing the gold as I feel appropriate.
Tell you what,
Well, as long as you feel appropriate.
we would appreciate some information at least on this cloud castle that we're looking for.
Aye, that and maybe a little bit of gold.
Yeah, I mean, it's only fair, as our friend has said.
But seriously.
Dragon Slayer / shit disturber.
Right?
I like it.
Why do you do this to me? At this point, the dwarves keep kind of. They're very, very suspicious of this woman all in black out on the thing.
Can you blame them?
But now they're kind of starting to look at Hind a little suspiciously.
Oh no.
You know, and they're looking around and they're like, you guys are eating pretty sparse rations. How'd you get so tall? Is that a natural sort of thing?
Yes, I'm a freak
Listen.
nature.
Listen. And Kemmler steps forward. You've already looted this mountain several times from what you're saying, and I imagine they were larger, if not the same size loads. That's quite a bit of money. We're not saying we want any of it, but a little bit of gold wouldn't hurt.
And that would be the least
This
you could do
is-
to say thank you.
Good lord, she never shut up.
Don't mind her.
Hey, she's
Don't
one of us.
test
Careful.
me. You'll find
I
out what
wanna-
else I never stopped doing.
I want to step out of sight, just probably behind whoever they're not paying attention to.
Oh, never mind.
Apparently, that was a really bad perception
Yeah,
check.
I rolled a 1. You can stand on their beard and hide.
How much is in this cart?
I mean, it's like packed to overflowing. You know, there's a coin or something falling out every,
Are
couple hundred
dwarves
feet.
by nature very possessive? Like, what does this mean to them?
That's a good question.
Yeah. So, everybody roll me an insight check. Kemmler with advantage.
Yeah.
I'm gonna re-roll that with
Aw,
halfling
not a
luck.
bard anymore.
So right now you have bardic depression.
Oh my god.
Huh? All right.
Oh dear.
Well, that
Apparently, I'm
explains
just
a
gonna
lot.
bumble around and ask stupid questions for no apparent reason.
So Heinrich, with the cool, stiff mountain air, is very clarity of thought, and he remembers, talking with Kemmler about things, and you get the sense that all of the treasure that's being collected here, and it sounds like all of the major groups of dwarves in the upper north have already kind of claimed their bit. But you get the sense that this is sort of like reclaiming what has been stolen from their homes for the last 50 years kind of thing. Because you hear him tell stories about, the dragon was always, terrorizing, the orcs are always terrorizing, that, they are warming up to the idea that you guys killed what has been, the scourge of a dragon in this area. And that's really cool, especially the younger ones. But they also they're like, well, this was ours. I mean, this is my grandmother's blade. This is my grandfather's, warhammer.
Gotcha. So I'll use that insight and the recent story arc to look at Ren and say I can understand repossessing one's old belongings and what really matters most to them and their family. This is theirs rightfully. It was taken by Glaziel. But then I'll turn to the dwarves and say, but that being said, you're getting it back because of our efforts. I mean, and we're also headed up here to solve further problems in your region. I think at the very least you could just let us have some sort of payment. I don't want your heirlooms, but a little bit of gold to help us on our way. Maybe some winter supplies?
When Ren hears this, she walks over to the cart and just looks through a little bit and digs through and realizes that what they're saying is truth and that the things in here are treasures, but clearly from people's homes and things that have been stolen from the people who have reclaimed them. She just kind of looks at it for a minute, and then she looks down and, please accept my apologies. I really didn't understand. I understand completely why you want to reclaim this treasure for yourself. I spoke out of turn.
So at this point, Ollie does not cast Major Image and make Glacial appear. Instead,
Wow! Glad we averted
That
that.
would have been awesome.
Holy shit.
instead he says, "Tell you what, guys. Why don't y'all spend the night with us? We'll tell you the whole story about how we killed him. Share drinks. We'll share stories.
I can
And
tell you a little
we'll
story
take-
about a man named Aiden Dragonbow.
Who slayed 3 dragons. Ass.
And about the cloud giant that picked me up and threw me.
That was pretty sweet. Wasn't there a vampire too?
There was indeed a vampire.
Aye, and I've got some pretty good ale.
And then you hear my plate mail start to chatter again. But seriously, those winter supplies.
Well, I know of 3 wolf's pelts that are available now.
What's left of them?
Oh, so sad.
Nice, by the way. Very impressive.
On whose part?
All right.
On whose?
Ren's remembering those pelts.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
So this is not going to happen, and this is pretty ridiculous. You do get some of this stuff though. Oh, that's what that is. Okay, so you're probably not going to want the second thing.
Oh, good. I love
All
things
right,
I'm
then,
not gonna
I'll-
like.
Yes,
give you
no, maybe
30,000
so.
platinum.
Here you go.
Holy shit! Yeah,
Wait,
no.
30,000 platinum?
How about 100 platinum?
Wow.
Can we even carry 30,000 platinum?
Could they carry it on a
Probably
cart?
not.
We would figure it out.
It's also supposed to be 39,000 gold pieces. So
We skin the dwarves. We make a sled, and we.
that's
There are
well.
plenty
A
of
dwarven
sturdy
sled.
dwarf bones over there.
It's a whole new meaning to a dwarven sled.
You don't have to kill them. You could just take all their beards and weave a nice little.
You might as well
yeah.
kill them.
Just
they're
leave
totally
them all
gonna-
naked.
I
and
was gonna
shaved.
say because they're totally gonna let you just take their beards.
Might as well
without
kill 'em.
knowing.
You have 2 choices. You can die or you can just shave you. You decide. They'd probably choose death.
And they'd be like, "Yeah, exactly."
Look, you
Everybody
can
got
keep your
shaved.
heirlooms, but we're gonna murder you so we can make a sled because we gotta get all this treasure out of here.
I'm just gonna say we're all in rare form tonight. I am so sorry.
All right,
This is
so
fantastic.
there is 100 platinum that you guys can count out. There's also a jade game board with solid gold playing pieces.
Whoa.
You guys still have
That's cool.
a jade statuette of a frog. There's also
Oh my gosh, a
a
frog.
painted gold child sarcophagus.
Oh dear.
Dark?
Like, hold on. Like a toy sarcophagus or like a child-sized sarcophagus?
It's child-sized. It appears to be empty though.
Oh, okay.
Jesus.
There's also a scroll and there is a little vial.
A vial of what?
Small jar
Wow.
contains a viscous, milky white substance. It looks like the inside of the jar has been coated in some oily material.
Viscous white
Interesting.
substance.
This is either milk or something magic, and I don't think it's milk.
Can I cast detect magic and check all of this stuff and see if that jar is magical?
That's what it looks like. And yes, it is.
That is cool.
Interesting.
I'm glad there's a padlock on it because I was about to take a sip.
Oh lord.
I think we've all
Is
I
there-
can tell you I know what it is, and that is a really bad idea. But
Or is it?
Is there a padlock on it?
There is, yes.
It's cold where we are. That could
What
be
is
ice cold
this?
milk, man. That sounds good.
If it were milk, it'd be frozen.
Aye, come on, Hind.
Oh man.
whatever it is, Hind, it's magical. I don't
Even
know.
better,
Yeah,
magic
Hind,
milk.
It's not magic milk.
Please tell me there's magic milk.
I don't know. I'm sure you
Somewhere.
can make milk magic.
Okay, I can sleep tonight. That's much better.
Perhaps we just take the vial.
I'll
When we
bless
get
some
somewhere,
magic or
perhaps
some
someone can
milk
tell us
for
what's
ya.
in there. I
Aye.
wouldn't recommend drinking it though until we know the contents.
I've had good luck
Oh,
with
there's a
potions so
padlock
far.
on it.
Like you couldn't remove that with one little finger.
Who does anybody want that or any of this stuff?
I'll take it for now.
Has anyone the key
I
to this
put it in my-
padlock on the file?
I'll
I'll
take the
make
game
one.
board, the jade game board, if no one else wants it.
Oh God, how heavy is
Why
this
are-
sarcophagus?
Where are we getting this? From the cart? This is what the people gave us?
Yeah.
Yeah, these are our Wayne's.
Weird. Okay.
You can sell it back to him if you want.
So you said there was a
No,
jar
we'll
and
sell
a
it somewhere
potion,
else.
or was there? It was
Uh,
just
There's
one
a
this is
jade
the
frog.
potion.
Oh.
How big is the jade
The
frog?
scroll would have to go to Ollie. He's the only one that can use it.
Okay, I'll take the scroll then.
We already have the Jade Frog figurine. That's what
Yeah,
he was saying.
Do you want to sell that to these guys?
They want it?
Is it magical, Ollie?
Yep.
No. Okay.
No.
Roll me a d20.
A detone.
A child sarcophagus falls under art objects.
Why not?
Several reasons I can think of.
I'm curious.
This
What are the
sarcophagus
first
is
ones
empty.
that come to mind?
Where's the child, the dead body that goes in it? Are you trying to rip us off?
Wow. And you're saying that's okay.
Yikes.
Yep, that happened.
She's
Right,
strong-willed,
ask
that
the
one.
important questions.
They already think I'm nuts, so.
Supposed
No, we
to come
think
with
you're
a free
awesome.
boy.
There's a difference.
The dwarves, not so much.
I like them. We're drinking.
No, the dwarves think she's not so awesome.
So
Great.
through that, we drink my last bottle of Evermead. For all that. Oh, woo!
Okay, so we got six. Okay, you just distributed it evenly. Nice. Oh my god.
How are you doing weight-wise, Ollie?
Yeah. Hind, you'd have to carry some of this gold for me.
Oh yeah, you're over.
Yeah, I've got over 120 in storage left. So yeah, lay it on me.
You know what? I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna identify this jar. I forgot I could do that.
This is just like Skyrim. You notice that Ollie and Ren both just come to a complete stop and can't move.
I pick up Ollie entirely, and can I still move? I have
Yes.
135 room still.
Yes, you can.
That's awesome. I just put Ollie entirely into onto my back. I say, sort it out. We're moving.
So I take this big, huge bag, whatever, of gold. Honestly, gentlemen, I did not earn this. I wasn't with you and you slayed this dragon. And to be quite honest, I can't carry it anyway, so please do divvy this up between yourselves.
Now, hang on a second. This is Iron Talon's reward, yes? And I look at Drax or Ollie and Kemmler.
Aye, you do be getting your fair share now, Ren.
Well, I can't
You little
carry my
dwarf.
fair share.
Doo-doo-doo-doo.
Well,
Well-
how about you carry what you can and what you're comfortable with, and I'll hold on to what you can't hold, and when you need some gold, you just ask.
We got Kemmler Mule and Hind Mule here to assist.
Indeed, that's
Aye.
very gracious of you. When we get to your town, we could
Actually,
probably get
Kemba
it.
can't move either.
Oh,
Well-
fuck.
Wait, yeah.
Why not?
Damn
Oh, wait a
it.
minute. No, I'm reading the wrong things. Hold on.
I was gonna say no. I checked. My maximum is 225. I'm only carrying.
Oh,
Hind,
that's okay.
Okay.
Sorry. So yes. So
Hind, can I trade you?
Ollie can't move.
Can I trade you some gold for a gem?
I've got an aquamarine, a blue spinel, and a diamond. I'm not sure what
Look at
those
the
What
are.
are they
bottom
worth?
of your inventory screen. You can see that. So it's the maximum off to the far left, and then it's the coins plus gear in the middle.
Do you have 5,000 gold, Ollie?
Not on me. No.
Do you have 1,000 gold?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay, so I'll take 1,000 from you, and you get. Can I drag these into the party inventory? I can. Check that out. Okay, so there's your 2 gems, and I'll add 1,000 gold to my inventory.
Well, if it's both of those, it'd be 1,500.
Aren't those
Right.
both?
No, you're right.
Those
You're
are
right.
both 500.
You're right. You're right.
Cool. Whew. Okay, so now I need
Oh,
to
I just
check.
gave him back. I'm so sorry. I have to charge him again. I'm sorry.
I'm
just pop 'em back
carrying
in the
so
party
much
sheet.
monies.
Holy shit. So just check your inventories, make sure that coin weight is appropriate.
I'm good when we do that. You'll have to put them back in the party sheet.
Put what back on the party sheet?
Well, what does a coin weigh?
The blue spindle and the
Oh.
other one.
Coin weighs 0.02, and I drugged them in. I don't think I have them anymore.
You do.
You do. I gave him back to you accidentally. Sorry.
Oh, okay, so they're just not in the right spot.
So
probably.
I'm looking back to the person or the dwarf who gave us the gold coin. Do you happen to have any gems that you could trade for this? It's
Oh,
quite heavy for me.
Good idea. That's why we keep her around.
That's the only reason.
You knew there had to be something, right?
Oh God. That and the warmth of her personality.
Right? It's bubbling.
Air quotes.
You settle down, mister. Air quotes indeed.
Whew.
So where are we at on those gems?
Yeah,
Yes,
my coin
you
weight is accurate.
Can
My coin weight is dead on.
Do you happen to have any onyx gems? I will trade you this gold for 15 of them.
sure.
I could use some too. This is a lot of
Fantastic.
coins.
I'd be willing to buy some diamonds.
Holy
I'm gonna
shit.
grab a water. I'll be right back.
They don't have any of your diamonds.
Aw, my mega diamonds.
They'd have some star sapphires.
How much are those worth?
1,000?
How many do they have?
2?
Because I'm carrying 3,388 coins. Drax, what about you?
You go ahead, because I have 28.
Okay. Yeah, can
The
I
one
buy...
each then?
Yeah, that'll work. Buy a
You're
1,000...
stronger.
1,000 sapphire, 1,000 for whatever each.
Right, I already have one, so I'll give myself one of those and subtract 1,000 coins, or 1,000 gold.
Cool. Okay. Should I put it in my inventory, Kai? I just want to make sure we don't both do it.
There's some way to do this incorrectly so that it copies. I'm trying to figure that out.
Alright, I'll wait for you to do it then.
Yeah, I'll wait. A lot of numbers flying around.
Yeah, small blue sapphires aren't... There we go.
Perfect. Okay, and then
You just you just gave him mine.
Yeah, I know.
that's okay. I'm good. I'm good now. I've got 1 star, and I took away
Well,
1,000.
then we're done.
That's okay, I'm good. That was mine. What do you mean you're good?
No, we each bought 1 star sapphire, so I got 1. I gave away 1,000.
It's okay, he's copying it. That's why.
And now it's gone. Now
Now
it's
he's
back.
just moving it around.
Oh my god.
Okay, Kai.
What did I miss?
We're becoming bankers, apparently. Very bad ones.
Jumping gemstones is what you missed.
Haha, there we go.
Jumping gemstones. Oh, not 11. Not 2.
Is it only supposed to be one?
Yeah, 1 for me, 1 for him, and we each give up 1,000 gold.
Right, so I should have 2.
That look right?
I'm good.
Yes.
Excellent. So now I've got plenty of room still.
Yes.
Okay, drink and have fun overnight. I will be right back. And Ren, roll me d20.
So are we gonna
Yes, sir.
spend the night with these guys and tell the story of
Party up.
Glassheal?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. So I'll get rid of my bottle of Evermead because that's gonna get drunk.
Damn, Ollie.
Ollie tries his best to just throw together a song unprepared, and it sounds pretty good.
Yeah, it does.
Nice. So that's performance. Let's see how
Like
well
water
I
sounds
do
good.
trying to tell my side of the story of when we killed Glaziel. Oh,
yeah. It's
natural 20. The voice
I don't
is
even
the
know what I
minus
rolled
1.
for.
I'm sorry, what was that, Staff?
I'm not sure what I was rolling for.
Oh, I'm sure it's probably for a random encounter, probably, I would imagine.
Yeah, some chance we might encounter something overnight. It seems like if you roll below 10, you're good. Because,
Below a 10?
yes, yeah.
I'm actually not entirely sure how that all works.
I'm not either,
not
but it seems like we played golf with that particular roll. Low is good.
Interesting.
I've seen the tables, but it's never been something I've had to do, so I haven't really looked into it. But I apologize. I should not have said what I said earlier about knowing what that was, because
Knowing
That
what
was-
was.
that vial that I think Kimmler took it.
I
Himmler
have it,
has a
yeah.
way to know what it is.
Yeah, I can identify it, which
That's
is
true.
what I've been trying to do, but
We'll figure it out.
I can identify it. What do you mean we'll figure it out? Yeah, we will.
But right now it's like herding cats in this group, isn't it? We're all like in different directions and trying to get us all
Yeah.
in one place at one time doing the same thing is a feat in itself.
I'm over here making songs for Ollie, so you know.
Oh my god, I was so close to casting Major Image and making Glassheal appear and just fly over.
That's
Bam, there it
missing.
goes.
We don't have our music as usual.
That's true. That's true. I didn't think of that.
I think Kai had a bad day. Maybe he just
think he
wasn't
did
up to
too.
getting music put together, and I certainly wasn't going to ask him. I don't want to make his day worse.
Poor Kai.
Sometimes
We make him laugh. It should be a better night.
I was going to say, I guarantee you
hope
it's already
so.
better.
I certainly hope so.
It is for me. This is always a blast.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
We
Last
missed you,
week I
Seth.
couldn't get here because of the stupid traffic, and then today there was another accident. But I didn't. I took the opposite way home, just like I did last Monday. But last Monday, I had left much later, and the alternate route took me over an hour and a half to get through. And then the route that I would have been on would have been more like 2 hours.
Well, we missed you that
Wasn't
week and
pretty.
every week since last time we played. We're glad you're here.
It's
We
only
did.
been.
You
It's
missed
only,
some
this is
cool
2.
stuff.
I think it was only 2 weeks.
It
I don't
feels
even
like it's
know.
been a lot longer than that.
Trust
It
me,
does.
It does.
I am just kind of in the weeds at work, just trying to get things done. So this is just my
Okay, take your time.
2 or 3 hours of sanity.
That's good. That's good.
I'm glad you consider spending time with us to be sanity.
You know, that's a very good point. That's a
It,
very
it
good
totally
point.
is. It's totally. Without this, I would just be lost in my world of first aid and may never come out again.
It is good to kind of step out and play somebody else for a little bit.
Absolutely. And I thought I was going to make it last week, and then I didn't get home until 7:15, and I was so overwhelmed, and I still had to do prep for work the next day, so it just didn't work out.
Yeah.
But yay this
Oh,
week!
good.
Yay this.
Well,
It's
we're glad to
because
have
I
you.
got all the calamity out before 6 o'clock this morning.
Calamity?
Oh yes. I can tell you the story, but Kai's back now, so it'll
No,
wait.
I'm
because-
chewing. Go ahead and tell the story.
Do it.
So I called last night because my smoke detector started chirping, and I live in an apartment building, so it's for them to come and fix it and whatnot, and they just plug in a new one, right? It's not a battery when it plugs into wiring. So I call last night and say, and he's like, well, I can come in tomorrow. I'm like, I'm going to be at work until 6 o'clock, but if you want to come in after 6 o'clock, great. He's like, well, what time do you go to work? I said, well, I have no life. I'm leaving at 6:30 in the morning. So he's like, well, what time do you get up? I'm like, oh, about 5:30. He's like, I'll come by between 5:30 and 6:15. I'm like, well, I'm going to get up at 5:30 and I'm going to have my shower. So, take that into consideration. Get up at 5:15.
I know where this is leading.
I get up at 5:15. I get into the shower. I step in the shower at 5:23. When I step into the shower, the power goes out.
Oh, no.
I leave the shower running. I get out. I check on everything to make sure it's not something weird or strange, because it was kind of strange. And I could hear a sound, but it was just the generator firing up, which just puts power to like emergency exits and stuff.
Right?
And so then I just go and grab my little lantern, my little battery-operated lantern, and I get in the shower. 5:30 on the dot. This guy knocks on my door while I am in the shower in the dark.
Okay.
I'm annoyed, and I jump out of the shower. I grab my towel, wrap it around, and I go and answer the door because I want to get this done and taken care of. And he's already started walking away, and I'm like, well, you knew where I was, buddy.
Wow.
I told you what I'd be doing. And he's got coffee in one hand, and he's got the smoke detector in the other. I'm standing there wrapped in a towel, dripping wet. Don't have time to dry off. Just wrap the towel around me and go. And he's like talking to me about the power outage as if I care. He's like, yeah, apparently the transformer blew. That was weird. I'm like, smoke detectors this way. Right? So coffee in one hand, that in the other. He goes, do you have a flashlight? Yeah, I have a flashlight. I get him a flashlight. Soaking wet, wrapped in a towel. Do you have a stool? Yeah, I have a stool. Get him a stool, soaking wet, wrapped in a towel. As I put the stool down and walk to get out of his way, I hit his hand with the coffee cup, and the coffee cup spills onto my carpet, and coffee splatters.
Oh,
I'm like, are you kidding me? So I get something out, and I clean it up, and he's just like bumbling around. Smoke detector's there. Not happy. And it's apparent that I'm not happy. Like, just get it done and get out. I have somewhere to be. There's no electricity. I gotta go to work. So he finishes, and he can sense my displeasure. I don't know how. I mean, like, I hide it so well.
I'm sure in a
And he
towel
looks
soaking
at
wet.
me. And he looks at me, he's like, well, it's not my fault the power went out. I'm like, I agree. And I open the door, and I'm like, hallway. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks so
Damn.
much. Get out.
He
And I'm
probably
just
had
like,
no
what
idea.
the heck? Like, why he would think of all the things going on, I'd be upset about the power? How about the time you showed up, I'm standing here sopping wet in front of you, wrapped in a towel, and you spill coffee all over my floor. But yes, the power is the problem I'm having with you.
That is a calamity. Holy shit.
And I
That
thought,
should work
and
maintenance in
I'm
there.
sitting there, I'm in that moment going, I woke up in an episode of Carol Burnett this morning. The Carol
You're
Burnett
too
show,
young to even
right
know
there.
that.
I know, right? Look it up and watch it. It's funny as hell.
I was gonna say that sounds funny, but I have no idea what that is.
Yeah, it's because you're young when you just
Indeed.
watch it. You could probably get that on YouTube or something.
Is it black and white? Black and white.
No.
It's not that old, Hyde.
Wow.
I'm just fucking around.
But it was
Wow.
still, it wasn't like, I don't think it was live anymore when I was little girl and watched it. I think it was still reruns back then even. So it's pretty damn
Wow.
old. But
Well, I don't know that
Couldn't resist.
I've seen the Carol Burnett show. It's been a long time ago, but I'm a weirdo. I watched every single episode of I Love Lucy back in the day. So
Right?
it was on Nick at Night for like years. I watched
My
every
God,
episode.
Nick at Night.
I remember.
I used to watch Nick at Night all the time, but while I'm talking, I'm gonna go ahead and bring up the fact that we're playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes, we are.
Sorry, I don't mean
I
to be
said
that
No,
maybe
it's-
guy.
we should
no,
wait.
It's good.
And he said,
Kai's
no, I'm
back.
chewing. So that's
Kai,
why I told the story.
you're not chewing.
He's not now. I gave him time.
Instead of
So-
stuffing food in your mouth, spill words from it.
While we're still in the company of these dwarves, I want Ollie to just be going around to each and every one of them and telling stories and all of this, but also trying to get as much information about the lay of the land, the orcs in the area, and if there's any reason at all for us to go up to Glaziel's lair.
We don't want to get off track. It's a good question, though.
Yeah,
Please.
sorry if that was rude.
Spill words
no,
from
no,
your
no.
mouth.
So-
Holy fuck.
It's okay if you're the enforcer.
Oh,
If you want to be the
man.
cat herder, you go for it.
I'm crying. That was good stuff.
I'm glad someone appreciated it.
I think we all
I thought it
appreciate
was
it.
funny.
Woo.
Anyway,
He's still chewing.
what were we?
I don't know what all
He's chewing
I-
on his words. Holy, that's a lot of the map we can see there.
That's I
Yeah,
want
all of a
to.
sudden, villages.
I was just about to ask them if they could point us in the direction of the Udevelt Mead Hall. I
That
think that may be it.
building is incredibly huge, considering the size of that mountain.
Look at the size of the mountain.
What the heck?
I am going to point out because we do think it belongs to giants. Maybe
Oh,
it
does
is
it
it
not?
this
must.
actual size?
no, I don't think so.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, oh god.
But if
This
you
is a-
look at that road, the opening into the mountain, are we assuming that's where Dragon's Lair was inside that?
That was the impression
Yes.
I got. Yes.
Then this is definitely a hall of a giant.
Yeah, the thing's fucking
'Cause-
30 miles long to a side. Holy shit.
These are general locations.
Yeah, this is not actual size.
That igloo's 15 feet wide.
I'm
Miles,
gonna need
miles
a
wide.
banana for scale.
So
Holy shit.
I'm assuming that the
Oh, it's
One
like the
is the-
Titan from.
I'm
Thunder
assuming
Tree.
the one is the orc camp.
Yes, so one is the
Critical
so
role.
off to the west. There is the home of the Broken Tusk Orc clan.
Okay.
Up in the north, in the mountains, is where the Mkaz dwarves stay.
Alright.
They also tell you that they're actually bringing this treasure to the town to kind of sell it and get supplies and stuff like that.
To Mirabar? Or
N something, wasn't it? Was it Mirabar? There was something. There was an N town closer, wasn't there?
Did I hear you right? What we just got guilted into apologizing for wanting a share of. All of their blessed treasures from their life and their ancestors is going to town for trade?
This only Ollie knows this.
I like it. I like it.
Give me a perception check, Ren. This will be your shit disturbing roll.
A shit disturbing ability check.
Oh God.
Damn it.
Oh no. Even Saf is like, fuck.
That's a lot of shit disturbing right
I
there.
gotta be a bitch now.
Yes, you realize that that's the goal. And if you answer the next 2 seconds, you can make a decision. I'm just pretending she's totally distracted right now.
Totally
so-
distracted.
And the
I'm so
moment's
sorry.
gone. Moment's gone.
The moment's gone.
I want to ask them if they have seen any giants in the area as well, and if if they
Yes.
have.
So okay. So orcs are off to
sorry.
the west.
Right.
In the on the main glacier, heading towards the mountains in the middle is where the giants are.
The meat hall? Okay.
Yeah.
As you were talking about the result of my roll, I got distracted by an outside source. Sorry.
That's okay.
So what was said?
Literally nothing. Nothing at
Oh,
all.
I don't believe you.
So you did overhear that they were going to be buying life-saving medicines for their sick children with it.
Is that what I overheard? Well, if that's what I overheard, then
It's very
I guess I have
wiggly,
no
you're not
issue.
quite sure.
Numerous sob stories. Much feel.
Luckily, I'm on my 4th glass of ale and couldn't care less anymore.
Okay. I will tell the rest of the party what they tell me about where the orc camp is and where the meat hall is and their stronghold or whatever up to the north. What can they tell me anything about Glacio's lair? Is it just is it completely empty? Like I think we already established it is.
The thing is, these guys spend their time kind of mining deep tunnels and everything for iron, precious metals, and gems,
Right.
as dwarves are wont to do. There is an uneasy truce with the giants. They kind of hold the broken tusk orcs at bay that allow trade caravans to kind of follow this path up and do the tradings. The giants do ask for tribute, and if they don't get enough, then they kind of let the orcs do its thing, but just enough to kind of keep the dwarves in place. So the giants are absolutely kind of the alpha predators in this area. The giants are, yeah.
Fuck the giants! Yeah, giants fucking suck!
Well, that's unfortunate because I've been trying to mingle as best as I can, drinking with these dwarves being 3 times their size.
They were initially suspicious of that, but seeing how you are with Kemmler and how you are with them, they're kind of warming up to you a little bit.
Okay.
How do they
we're all
react to me
cheering
being
and
shorter
chanting
than?
and telling stories of battles and showing scars, and it's great.
How do they react to me being even
Ollie's
shorter?
performance. I mean, your performance it won them over, hearts and minds and all that.
Awesome.
No, and most of the treasure is all gone from Glacial's place. They yeah, basically it's just an empty cave now.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna share that with the group, and I don't think there's any reason for us to go to Glacio's lair unless we wanted to, trash the place or something. I don't know, but
He's dead.
Udevelt's meat hall is beyond it, and as long as we avoid the orcs in the west, I think we should be all right.
Or not. Either
Well,
way.
do we be having any idea where Glacial or where the Cloud Castle may be?
Do any of them have they
They
seen
don't seem
that?
to have any idea what you're talking about.
Well, Sandersil mentioned the meat hall, and if we're gonna find them, I would say that's where we need to start.
Fair enough.
By going and talking to giants.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Oh. Well, I am so reassured now.
I've had a way with them in the past apparently, so maybe we can pull this off.
Okay. Praise be to Moradin if we make it through this.
I think if we drop Blagothkus's name, maybe that would help. I don't know.
It definitely would.
Are they the same kind of giants?
Oh.
They aren't. I don't think.
Probably
Are they?
not. They aren't cloud giants there? Well, I
You're
guess
not
we'll
sure?
find out. Yeah. Probably not.
So basically,
Can we
we
ask
don't know
these
what we're
dwarves
walking
about
into.
that?
No, we have no idea what we're walking into.
Would the dwarves be able to tell us what kind of giants they are?
That's what they describe him as in excruciating detail.
All right.
Well, that looks kind of like a cloud giant. Aren't they supposed to be that color?
This
These
could
dwarves
also
don't really
be a
see color.
storm.
Storm giant. That's probably what that is.
Do we call it Brian?
What's wrong?
Are we able to identify that as the same kind of giant as Blagothkus, the cloud giant?
Lagothkus did kind of describe some other types of giants to us when he was
The only
bragging
other
about how
giant we
much.
saw with him was stone giants, as far as I can remember.
Yeah, because he was bragging about how great his kind was.
There are multiple types of giants.
Right.
Right.
That's what we're
These
saying.
two are.
Because it makes a big difference about who we're dealing with.
Yes, these are cloud giants.
Okay.
At least that guy is.
Excellent. Well, we have some idea what we're getting into then.
We were
And
Santasil's.
you do hear that there are other types of giants at the hall.
Santasil's
okay.
blood doll mentioned a name, Brundwell, I think it was. Do any of these dwarves recognize that name?
He's one of the legendary warriors of the Uldoveld dwarves.
Okay. That's all my notes.
I'm a liar, frost giant. He's a frost giant.
Oh, okay.
Okay, frost giant. Frost giant.
Then we don't know.
Yeah. Okay, I say we head up the ravine and towards the meat hall.
We probably have one more night of travel before we get. So, oh, okay. So we're still in the ravine. Yeah. So we still got a lot of nights of travel left. So,
I mean,
It's gonna
these
be about
folks
3
just
more
came
days.
down in one. Didn't they come? So they took them 3 days to get down with that cart. Okay. I figured maybe. I mean, how long would it take if we wanted to seek shelter in that lair tonight?
You're still about 2 days from the lair.
Okay.
yeah, no way we could push through
So
to
it'll
that.
be one night in the ravine, maybe one night up in the retreat, and then another day's travel to the giants.
Is that what you guys want to do?
Yep. Let's get started.
Well, I felt like maybe. Well, that way all you have is a chance to look at the lair. I think in your mind you really wanted to. Am I wrong?
We could pass through.
Everybody, roll me a d20.
Whoopah! Fuck!
A detone.
Heinrich and Ren, roll me a d8.
Uh-oh. Luck be with us.
Did we die?
I'm about to.
They did. I told you they did.
Ruh-roh.
I told you he did.
I found it. I did prepare.
Hey!
So at one point during your 4 hours, you hear the baying of wolves echo across the frosty wasteland.
Ooh.
And this is while we're traveling during the safe
While we're waiting.
afternoon.
Wait, while you're traveling.
Okay.
Oh boy. Maybe they just found a deer or
That
something.
doesn't bode well.
That sounds like trouble to me. And Ren's looking around to see if there's a way to get maybe to a safe place above.
A survival check with advantage.
We would be helping you.
So, Ren
Don't.
starts to levitate and look down
I
and
did
laugh at
not
you guys.
say that. No, I did not.
Our character's wolves here. You guys are on your own.
I don't do wolves. Sorry, it's a big plate of nope right there.
It's not in my contract. It's not in my contract.
When I signed up, you said evil dragon gods, not wolves.
Right.
So Ren does point out some kind of ways that you could avoid the wolves if you'd like to.
Well, I mean, we only have so much time to travel. Do we really want to give it up?
We utilize one of those useful ways that she told us to escape the wolves.
We respond
I agree.
Sean,
appropriately.
you do not want any more pelts. Then perhaps we ought to go this way.
No, but seriously, Heinz, like, we'd only have so many hours to travel in this. God damn it. Oh, God damn it, Drax. I knew that was going to happen. And we only have so many hours to travel in the day. I really think we should take advantage of all we can while we can. It's just fucking wolves. We can handle some wolves.
From the sounds that we're hearing, can we estimate how many wolves we're hearing?
A pack.
What's that, like
Is
six?
a pack like 7 or
Like a
like
six
a
pack?
legion?
Like, what's a pack?
6-pack? Or a 12-pack? Which kind
Pack
of
is
pack?
six.
I say
Yes.
try to avoid them.
Baker's
But a
dozen?
backpack,
What are we
which
talking
is maybe
here?
like 8.
6-pack?
He simply
12-pack?
answers yes.
Well,
Oh, fuck.
I don't know. What do you guys think? Should we keep moving? I think we should keep moving.
Does the option that I give, the generic option I give us the option of continuing on our travels, or are we just taking shelter and waiting them out?
Nope, you avoid them and keep going.
Let's do that then.
Look, we can go this way and avoid them and keep going.
You go
That
that way and avoid
seems
them and keep
generic and appropriate. Let's do that. That is both generic and appropriate.
Uh-oh.
Wait,
Put yourselves
Why-
where you see.
why do I sense a battle map?
I don't have any idea.
Is that boss music I hear?
Oh, I don't have the music
Why
set
would
up,
we
sorry.
sleep by a cave entrance?
Why wouldn't we
That's
go
just
into
silly.
the cave?
We aren't sleeping.
That's not a cave. That's like
So-
a crack in the ice.
Oh yeah, well, would it provide shelter
I mean, a little bit.
from the wind and cool?
And just to clarify, this is in the middle of our traveling period, yes? Or are we camping, or did I miss that?
This is wherever you're camping. This is it.
Oh, okay. So we found a nice little
Okay.
place sheltered from the wind, and we're camping
We've
here.
got our
Well, then my only
Okay.
question is, who's willing to cuddle for warmth?
I have pulled out my my bottle of Evermead that I saved, and I've been swigging on it. Like
honestly.
I'll take first watch.
Ren wouldn't know
What's
this, but
wrong?
my first action is, I guess that ever happened before?
Has whatever happened.
I'm taking a watch? What?
That's true. That's true. Generally, he does crash immediately. Maybe he's too cold.
It is pretty freezing. Like your breath is kind of freezing as it leaves your body.
But
Oh
no,
my
to
gosh,
be
I would
honest,
love to see the icicle beard on Kemla right now.
Nope. It's pristine. It's crazy. There's no ice built up in it at all.
Well, apparently
Okay.
we're going to just crash right here.
In fact, when you mentioned that, Kemler's like, oh, My poor beard. And he pulls out this big leather sack. And he just kind of stuffs his beard kind of in it. And it's like a beard sheath.
Oh my god.
Just wraps around his head.
It's like a turban, but for the beard.
Perhaps more like a
Yep.
feeding trough.
Oh god. Well, yeah, I'll
Was
perch
that
on
in
this rock here.
Because if not, that was great. But if it was, Kemmler's going to be like, go fuck yourself. My beard
It
is
was
awesome.
totally. Mine was totally in character. What did you call those things you
Right.
put on, like that you strap on the feeding sack or whatever?
It doesn't cover my mouth. Come on.
I think it's just a feed bag.
Strap on your feed bag and stop talking while you eat.
Maybe
I'm
he
gonna go
can
to
eat
bed
with his
now.
beard. How did,
I
how
just
did
lie down, clear out some snow, and I lie down.
Gotta position yourselves appropriately. I've volunteered for first watch.
It's actually really
I cast
icy. There's not a
heat
lot of
metal.
blue snow.
I cast heat metal on my shield, and I lay next to it.
And I lay next to on the other side of the shield. Only joking about the feed bag, of course.
Is that where you want to be,
Yeah,
Drax? You
sure
haven't
you are.
moved at all.
Oh, is this where we're sleeping?
Wherever your shield is where I'm sleeping.
Where is this like actually what it looks like? Is this what we're gonna say? Because if so, I'm gonna be as far away from that fucking hole as I can be.
Well, if we come over here, we can get maybe some shield, but we don't know what's coming down on us. But then you have three sides you don't have to look at. You can just watch the one side and we're in a little cove.
That's true.
But we're also then,
We set up our tent in this little nook.
we've got ourselves backed into a corner.
No way.
Oh no, what did you find? Leather, hair, beard, bead. Oh, okay. Not nearly as bad as I was expecting.
Yes, it looks
Kinda
like
cool,
that,
right?
except they're made out of metal with anvils and hammers on them.
That's pretty sweet.
Gordon.
pretty cool.
It looks a lot like that, except
Oh,
there's
how
like 4
lovely.
braids.
Everybody roll me a
like it.
Constitution check.
Constitution.
Ruh-roh.
Oh.
Oh!
Combo breaker.
Ouch. Natural 1. We've not had a whole bunch of rolls above 10 for ability checks.
You guys are all exhausted.
We are.
Literally and mechanically. So yeah, we get there and Hein's like, I've just been really bored with sitting around for so much. I'll take the first watch this time. And I sit down and immediately I'm like, oh, I'm tired. I'm really sleepy.
Does anybody else notice that?
He
What-
tries to hide
And
it.
he's tired.
I mean, I got a
What, Hein
natural
is
1, but
tired?
I am trying to hide it, so it's up to Kai.
So at one point, there's like a constant kind of a cracking and creaking kind of sounds from all the ice here. There's not a lot of loose snow. You're basically just sleeping on the ice, and your shield is kind of melted down into the ice just a little bit, and then it immediately froze again.
What? This is a lake?
Uh-oh.
No, it's just hard packed kind of ice.
Oh, okay.
Um,
You scared
so
me.
at one point you were woken up by like a loud clanging sound, and Hind appears to have kind of fallen over asleep, and it was like his armor hitting his shield
Oh,
that kind of
no.
clanged. And so Kemmler, you're woken up from this, and so you see him, and he's kind of like just head down, falling asleep. And this is when you notice that you're basically in a small puddle of water. And it strikes you as odd because it was freezing instantly before, and to now be just like liquid, and it's colder than it was when you went to bed, is a little concerning to you.
Wait, what?
Oh my god,
It's
wake us up.
colder now, but now there's water?
There's almost like kind of a light glow kind of around you guys.
Which means that the ground has to be warm. And the atmosphere is cold. What the fuck's underneath us?
And Ren, you're woken by the snoring of Hind.
Which is quite loud.
And when you kind of reach up, your hand is just soaked from water from where you were sleeping on it.
Can you tell me what kind of temperature the water is?
It's actually a little warm.
And can you tell me how deep it is?
It's actually not that deep anymore because beneath you, the ice cracks and just a wave of heat erupts, and it kind of steam boils the water around you guys as you're all sort of thrown back a little bit. And roll for initiative.
Time to get up now. Oh my god, Pepper.
Ollie! Ollie!
Should me and Ollie have disadvantage or something for being asleep?
That's a good question.
No.
No? Alright. Wow.
I kind of imagine that Ollie was just tucked up into whoever
Are we
was
rolling
nearby for
initiative?
warmth.
You are, because where you guys were sleeping is now this thing bursting up out of the ice.
Woo!
What
Oh.
the fuck is that?
Oh, I've fought one of these before. Just those stupid worms that are up in the north.
So the cloud of steam as it burst above you, its body is kind of pulsing with like an internal fire, and all the little red spikes there are like the red from heat that's giving off.
As this is happening, I'm gonna just reach out at Hind while I'm waking up. Hind, wake up! Hind! Hind! High five, Hind! Hind!
I kind of roll over and slap your hand. Wait, but we're not even close to each other. Because it blew us apart.
Oh. Oh, never mind.
Which one
Yeah,
of you
no.
asked for heat?
We got blown.
Ollie, your turn.
Indeed.
Alright. So, just for the record, am I covered in warm water at this point?
All the water steamed away.
Okay. So seeing this giant just pop out of the ground underneath us, I'm going to draw that Dragon Slayer sword and just try and go right up underneath the jaw of it as it's coming out of the ground.
That's a badass mental picture. This thing is 15 feet wide?
Okay.
How tall is it?
Shit.
So I can't hit it with the Dragon Slayer sword, but I'm bringing out Dalliance in the same motion. I'm bringing the other sword out, and I'm kind of doing a cross cut underneath its chin.
It is huge.
Oh, man. Sorry, dude.
He's not awake yet.
Alright. What does the surroundings look like? Is there like a lot of boulders and stuff around us?
Sorry, say again?
Is there like a lot of boulders and stuff around us?
Yeah, as pictured here.
Okay, well. You know what? I'm just going to go ahead cast Spirit Guardians
Yeah.
at 4th level.
Whoops.
We're doomed.
What have I done?
You made it bigger.
We all got a little bigger.
We angered it. It grew.
We done fucked up. It done grew.
I got you, Kai.
What am I doing wrong?
Fixed it all.
Oh god, okay. Sorry,
I
hold
can't
on.
change the remora.
Uh,
No, fix the remora. Go.
Ren, I'm gonna make a point tomorrow of making you a mini like ours,
Okay.
so you'll have something
I wish
other
I
than
could
a.
be of help for that, but
That's okay.
not that I don't mind this. I
All
mean,
right.
I'm in no hurry.
It's something I enjoy doing. If you don't like it,
Oh,
we
I
don't have
don't
to
mind
use
at
it.
all.
But
No. Of course I will love it.
cool.
Okay.
So I cast that at 4th level. I'm done. Then I pass my turn to Hind.
So I had been on the rock asleep for my shift, and I'll say I kind of fell off to the left here, like right there. Clang, fell asleep, and then this thing bursts up. Okay, what? What was that? I turn and I see it sticking out of the ground, looking at everybody that it just burst up on and is roaring. And I want to run at it and try to jump on its back with like kind of down stab with blighter and try to ride it, basically, like latch onto its back.
You're crazy.
Okay.
Yes, Hind is insane. I named the Polyforge, by the way, Blighter. Yeah! There we go. And you know the monster, Kai, so you go ahead and tell me what happens. Yeah, oh shit.
You scald yourself as you land on it. Each of these little fins is basically like a furnace, giving off heat.
Ouch.
Oh my.
Okay,
So you do
hey.
slash down though.
Yeah, I just forgot.
So you actually like cut a couple of these off, and they kind of fall, and then start kind of like sinking into the ice as they kind of melt their way down.
Okay, I want to pull out Polyforge, or Blighter, and for my second attack, stick it up a little further so I can sit kind of where those spikes fell out. So I'm not scalding myself anymore. And it goes in for another 19 damage.
But you do scald yourself.
Again, huh? Ouch. Oh, it's so hot. It's so hot. It's so hot. And I'm just going to plant my feet and jump off it backwards and just rip out Blighter aggressively as I go for my third attack. And it hits. I'm going to go ahead and give it a goading attack because that would piss it off for sure. So it needs to do this. And it fails. Nice.
Ooh, 1.
And I get that. Here's the damage. Oh, man. Cool. So I jumped off it backwards. I can't grab Hind. There's too many things going on there. I want to kind of end up next to Ren there.
So you back one, or are you staying on him?
Yeah, I'm jumping back and ending up next to Ren. There we go. Cool. And he has goading attack, so it doesn't show me the... I'm pretty sure it's disadvantage on attacks other than against me.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Until the end of my next turn, and that's me. I'll look up at Ren. Go get him!
Morad Slayer.
So Ren looks around, and then she crouches down and she jumps straight up, and then back to land on top of the rock face behind her there. And at the same time, she reaches out her hand and calls for Shadow's Breath. And when she does, in her hand is this big, beautiful, ornate longbow.
Yeah!
And it's black, shiny, and has all this intricate work. And then and then you also see this a quiver appears with it, and she throws it on her back and pulls out one of her arrows and aims it. I can't summon that and shoot it at the same turn, so that is my turn with that. I don't think I can do anything else.
Really?
Really, really. If I don't have it out, I'm screwed.
Huh.
And I was asleep.
I wouldn't say you're screwed, but you definitely don't get to attack, which is a downside.
You're in a towel soaking wet.
Exactly, right? In the dark. With some
coffee
strange guy in my house.
all over your floor.
And his stupid coffee.
And that fucking smoke detector just beeping the whole time.
No, I had disconnected that the day before.
Oh, whoops, wrong dice. He succeeded. He takes half that. Sorry, Kai.
No problem. So he kind of does a like a swirling motion through all your little guys.
Yes, Moradin.
I love it.
Kind of circles around that rock.
Opportunity attack.
Yes, you and Ollie would both get one.
All the way up at the top of my page.
Yeah, is it still just like, what's going on? He swings wide as it's running away from us.
Aww. So do I.
Man.
It's just so agile.
As it worms around your attacks.
There we go. Oh my god.
Wow.
Kai, if
Your
you want to
level
drop
of
like 5 more of
penmanship.
them because of that, I completely
Impressive.
understand.
He's already focused on me. He has to. He got a hit. Nice. Shit.
He's like, I know you're gonna make a worm pun, so I've got to kill you quick. Kill you, worm pun, bitch! Now you're going to die. That was the planned intention at first, wasn't it? Now you're really gonna die.
Exactly.
I was gonna let Kegler
Okay.
bring you back, but now you're doomed.
42 fucking damage. Holy
shit.
Ow!
You
That
done pissed
hurt.
it off.
Wow. We're going to have to get serious with this thing.
Roll
got
me a strength check.
Okay.
This is to determine whether or not he picks you up and eats you.
Basically, he's grappled you.
I'm grappled.
Decided he couldn't eat you.
And restrained? Shit.
Huh?
Yes.
I don't know off the top of my head. restrained. I know grappled I can't move.
Restrains creature's speed becomes 0 and can't benefit from any bonus to its speed. Attack rolls against it have advantage. Your attack rolls have disadvantage, and you have disadvantage on dexterity saving throw.
That's what I thought. Okay. So he has straight attack rolls now. Or no. He would have advantage. No. Because it's against me. Shit.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, Ollie.
Oh, it's just the one.
Okay.
Oh, thank God.
Ollie's
Got
gonna
him right down in here.
Ollie's gonna move up just behind Kimmler and try to hide behind him with his bonus action.
Hide behind hind.
Don't do that. Please don't do that.
Damn, 9.
Not this time.
Okay.
All right.
And I'm going to cast Major Image behind him. And since I didn't get to do it the other day, and I've been kind of wanting to try it, I'm going to
All right.
create an image of
Good night.
the only white dragon I've ever seen,
Oh.
Glazhail, behind him, and just have it just come out of the sky and land on the ground with this, and just let out a horrible roar at this thing.
Nice.
Okay. Give me an intimidation check.
Is there any chance at all it would be an advantage because it's a white dragon?
Yes.
Nice. +7, 19.
Okay. He seems momentarily distracted.
All right. It's me then.
All right. I'm gonna run up here next to Hind. I'm gonna reach out, cast Cure Wounds.
So I want to share what I have in my head here. That I jumped off its back, and in the time it took me to fly backwards and land where I am, it had snaked around behind the rock and has me by the back of the torso and is just shaking me where I am. And Kemmler just slides forward and grabs my foot and casts Cure Wounds while I'm just getting rattled around. Oh God! It's got me!
Not to mention a white dragon has just landed behind it too.
Yeah, no shit. Yep, it stops
no,
shaking
thank
me.
God.
It turns and looks at it, and that's when Kemmler grabs me. And I forgot about the dragon.
Looks like there is.
Restores you to full health.
Oh, thank you. Oh my God.
So I run up to you and I grab you, and my amulet is in my hand, between my hand and you, and there's just this big flash of white as it all just swirls around you and absorbs into your body, and I cast Heal on you.
Oh God. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Oh God. What do I do?
Stop getting mauled, Hind!
So, ooh. What is...
So Ren really notices that this is a fake ass dragon.
Oh, okay. Yeah, definitely. Okay, so I'm gonna reverse my grip on my sword and just stab directly behind me under my shoulder and try to get this thing to drop me. So we're gonna try... we'll just do a regular attack here.
Just for the record, the cube I've drawn, it says it can be up to a 20-foot cube, so that's where the dragon is.
Ah. Okay. So here's my first hit.
Managed to hit it.
25. And then I pull it out and stab in again. Drop me, you bastard! Drop me, you bastard! Yes! This one... What does menacing attack do? None of the definitions carried over, and it's been too long.
Ah.
Pretty sure it's scared of me if it fails.
If you go to abilities, and then combat superiority, there's the table right there.
Oh, there it is. Nice. Okay. So, menacing strike. If I hit a creature, I expend. The target must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, it is frightened of you. And yep, definitely. Okay. So I'm gonna try a menacing attack. Ah, it succeeds. That's all right.
Oh, barely.
That's all right. Extra damage. And pull it out and stab it in again. Fucking let go, motherfucker. Yes. It's hard to miss, apparently. So that was my second. Here's my third. I'm going to try menacing again. Yeah, I mean, this is just in and out the side of his head. Like, this has got to be bothering him. And he succeeds again. That's okay. Extra damage. Blast. And, I mean, does he drop me after taking fucking 70 damage to the head?
Doesn't work that way.
If it doesn't, that's fine. I just want to see. Probably not. Okay. And then that's my turn.
Ren poised up on the, a little bit higher up on the higher elevation, about 10 feet up from where everyone else is. Has her longbow
You can wrench out a victory.
Oh my god, let her do her turn.
I can't.
It's not good.
Don't worry, she'll rent out.
Lord.
Watch
Get it
out,
out of
my
your
mind
system.
will be rent.
Oh god.
We're done. I'm sorry, we're done.
Are you sure?
No.
At least he's honest about it.
I am.
Right.
I am.
All right. And so she has her longbow out. She has an arrow in it, loaded in there, and she's about to fire. But then she sees what this thing has started to do to Hein, and so she just hesitates and she takes the arrow and puts it away, and she hoists the longbow onto her back, and she pulls out a vial. And you see her putting a couple things together in the palm of her hand, and she looks around to pick up earth. Does she find any?
It needs all ice.
All of it. There's no earth anywhere to be found. She's looking around anywhere for earth and kind of digging through the snow. Shit. Trying to, frantically searching
There
for
was that
some
big
earth.
hole that it came up through.
You are on
Yeah,
a
but
cliff
I'm up
edge.
on top of the thing.
It's a glacier.
Reach over the.
So, nothing, hey?
Shit. Glacier doesn't have a lot of earth on it.
I mean, remember you've got your
If I see no
you
earth
can use
around
your
me, I'm
attack
gonna.
weapon as your focus. You don't need the materials.
I do in some cases, but this one says to consult you because it's too complex. So, but I need my materials. So
But I'm
for
looking at
the
Hein,
flesh
right?
to stone, would I need to be able to find earth? I don't need much, but I need a bit. And I suppose I could look in my pouch to see if I have any.
Check the bottom of your shoes.
Right?
I'm sure I've got some in my armpit somewhere.
I think I got some in my teeth.
Check behind your ears too.
Definitely behind all of our ears.
I shower every night.
What's a shower?
Roll me an Arcana check.
Magic
Can do.
kind.
Magic. Definitely
Yes,
beyond my
you managed
comprehension.
to scrape some earth
From behind
off
their ears?
Yeah.
Away we go. All right, so I'm frantically looking around for some earth, and then I remember I could grow potatoes behind my ears.
Hey,
Well,
for
that's-
exactly
yeah.
this purpose.
I knew this would come in handy sometime.
I just grow my spell components upon my body.
Oh God, that's awful.
I take the earth from behind my ear, and I put it into the palm of
Wow.
Just a fingernail.
Oh,
Wow.
Whew.
Something good must come from not being able to shower for days while you're on journey. Anyway,
Wow.
she starts to emulsify this mixture into her hand until it's mixed together with the liquid that she's dropped there. And then she clasps her hands together with her fingers laced, and a glow starts to form from within her hands, and the glow grows into a globe until it's pushing her hands apart. Until then, the globe is suspended between her hands as it grows until once it stops growing, she pulls her arm back and thrusts the globe at the dragon, and it gets absorbed. Dragon. What do you call this thing? This wingless
Remorhaz.
dragon.
or remoras.
He thrust it into the wingless dragon with many legs.
Bremer has it
Oh my
And
God,
it gets
that
that was
this
a good
guy might be a
one.
dragon.
Yes.
It's a dragon in disguise. And it's absorbed into the Remorhaz.
Well played
Well, let's find out.
on both of your accounts. That was very good. Remor has it. This is not a dragon. Oh man.
Finding the right button here. Hold on.
Sorry, I'll find it here.
No worries. Spells are tough.
There we have it.
Yeah, he failed. Wait. Yes.
So I hit him?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so it's
So now
Flesh
the globe
starting to
has absorbed into the creature, and he just stuns him for a moment, and then he goes back to his attack. And then all of a sudden you see in the center of him, as his flesh begins to turn to stone, and some of his little legs start to harden and get kind of crunchy, and they're not moving as quickly and as easily.
Yeah.
His legs are getting crunchy.
Crunchy limbs, yum yum.
Lobster
I don't know
tail.
about that. This might be a little gross.
I like crab.
No different than a crab leg. Come on.
I love me some crab.
Except this is turning to stone,
Giant
not being
bug
cooked.
leg.
But yeah.
It's already cooked. It's on fire.
This meal is on fire. Sorry,
Wow.
that's a song.
I know it is.
alrighty.
And that his flesh is slowly continuing to that stone is starting to spread slowly but continuously.
Oh, oh!
Oh, well.
Don't hit me, please.
Don't worry, Hind. Woo! Moradin.
One of them comes a little too close to me, and I'm like, no, please.
Oh God! Hind, what did I say?
Oh shit!
So as these things spin around, and its movements are kind of a little sluggish, which is why when it kind of like rears its head back up, and it pulls Hind away from Kemmler's grasp, throws Hind up in the air, and he's kind of spinning around, and this thing opens up its jaws unbelievably wide, and just swallows Hind whole.
Oh, the death of all good melee characters.
We must get him out of there.
He was
If
never
this
hurt
thing
before.
turns to stone,
Hind!
well, he'll be enveloped in stone.
Oh no! Hind!
So let's see.
Wow.
Ouch. Fucking another 42 damage. Jesus.
I was all happy and proud. It hit, and I was going to get this thing maybe see turned to stone, and now I don't want it to because it's going to
Oh, man.
entomb Hind in it if we don't do something.
Keller, do you want to take a thing?
Yes,
Opportunity attack.
I want to take a thing. Gets half
Yes,
movement,
yes.
remember that.
Cut off his thing.
How far can this stupid thing move? Why with the low rolls?
And can he move that far if he's a little bit, he's gimpy? I mean, he's turning to stone.
This is his natural habitat.
Does he naturally roll around with stone legs in his natural habitat?
Click your damn button.
Resist, Kai. Resist.
That was good.
That was good.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, he loves it
was
when I get
wrong.
mouthy.
It was wrong, but it was good.
This is natural habitat. Does he normally have stone legs in his natural habitat? I need to stop talking. I'm swallowed.
Right, you can't.
Those are the noises he usually makes.
God damn it.
Yes. Dang.
It's not
Oh,
over
wait
yet.
a minute. No.
It's not over yet. He's got to get 3 goods or 3 bads for it to be over. Right now we're 1 and 1.
That's as far as it goes. Forgot that Spirit Guardian slows him down. Ollie, he
I
doesn't seem
mentioned it
to be.
twice.
Oh, I'm sorry. Ollie doesn't seem to be even looking at the dragon at all.
All right. In that event, I'm going to drop concentration on the dragon, and it just poof disappears. And I'm gonna. I dropped my swords right here in front of me to take the fleece out of my pocket earlier to cast that spell, but now instead of picking him up, I'm gonna unswing that crossbow from behind my back. I'm gonna again. Am I still hidden from it, or should I do that again?
You're pretty. You're still hidden.
Okay. Then I want to take a shot at it with advantage and see if I can sneak attack it from here as it's running off with Hind.
Sure.
Nice.
Okay. And that'll be me.
Ooh, that means it's my turn.
I gotta remember to use my spell components that way, like Saf was doing. That was great.
Right? She's masterful with that.
It is impressive.
Sorry, I forgot to pass the turn.
Oh, okay, cool. So I'm gonna chase this thing down. And I'm gonna hit it with my hammer. Let him go! Yeah! And I'm gonna divine strike him. Oh, he has fire resistance. Duh. Well.
How much damage did you do?
Not much.
You did 10. How do you feel internal muscles squeezing you?
Digestion time.
Right.
What's all that? Oh, that's what that is.
So,
That's the acid.
Oh no, he really is being digested.
Yeah, digesting you.
fuck. Okay, well, I already have my sword out. I'm just gonna try. I mean, I know I probably can't move very much, but I'm just sawing it viciously back and forth in whatever position it was in.
Try to get in between the rings of cartilage. You'll do better damage that way.
if
So
only
slice
the lighting was
horizontally?
better inside this worm.
You are actually blind, so
Jam it vertically. Just
I
start
am blind.
jamming it. Stab with the sword.
I'm still restricted some. Yeah, I'm at disadvantage. I'm still hitting? Jesus. Okay.
it's kind of hard to miss. But
Okay, well, that's good to hear, because this has been rough. Okay, and so there's
If
the
you only
first
had a
hit.
plasma gun, that's all I can think. Men in Black. If you only had a plasma gun,
The noisy cricket.
right? You hear this gun from within, and then
Oh wow, that is perfect. I love it.
Okay, so there's my first one. I'm just trying to think if any of these would really help. I guess the best I can do is just throw a go-to
I would
attack
say
at it.
blinded and restrained and inside and being eaten by thing. You might not actually do your special moves.
Okay, that's, yeah.
no
That's
fancy
fair.
footwork today.
Yes,
Yeah, it's kind of hard to go something to attacking you when you're inside of it.
all I can really do is just move this sword back and forth and hope for it. That's totally fair. So I'll just do my 3. That's a fucking hit.
Roll
Maybe
one
you'll
eight and
find the
still
heart.
hit.
This is, I feel bad at this point.
You guys see like like
me
this
up!
shape, this
All 3 times 21 damage. Oh, that was 20 on.
21, 20, and 21.
And it's
yeah,
still
come on.
alive.
I mean, really, 21
Just, yeah, I'm
or
just
20? Sorry.
my grip was reversed, so it's kind of like along my leg when it swallowed me, and I'm just grinding it against my plate on one side and against the worm on the other side, just jackhammering as I'm trying to fucking break free and hold my breath.
You guys actually see like Polyforge start to like stretch the skin out, stuff like that from the inside.
Badass.
Oh, gross.
All right, so
Oh,
Ren up on this.
I'm sorry, for my bonus action, I'm gonna second wind. Okay, that's me.
This is about to go really good or really bad. Let's see. So Ren up on this 10-foot cliff. She takes a running jump at this creature. She can jump with a run a good 30 feet. And just as she starts to jump, she pushes off with one foot so that she's spinning. And she reaches behind her for her longbow, and when she pulls it out and brings it around in front of her, it is now her sword, her two-handed sword.
Fucking A, that's so
That's
cool.
badass.
And as she's spinning toward this creature's head. And when she gets to him, she slashes downward in the one spin, and then as she turns, she slashes upward with her other hit, because she gets 2 slashes. So slashes down, spins halfway around, slashes back up at it. Let's see how it goes.
And so as she's doing this, flying through, the little spirit guardians actually kind of like start to swirl around her blade. And then as she swings it down, they kind of hit against the thing and explode in little steam puffs and then reappear, spinning back around.
Oh man,
Nice.
you might kill it.
Yeah, so do your first attack with the two-handed.
All right, so there's my downward slash first, and it's a hit.
Make sure you're
Oh,
targeting him.
it's not targeted, so I can just put that right on him. Hang on.
That is it, yes.
Do I need to put that on him, or did I already take the hit for it?
I did, so now do you
Okay, thank you. All right. didn't target him! I'm sorry, I misunderstood. I thought you had done it. Forgive me. I'll target him for the next one, though.
I just
There,
drag it.
Yay. So, and then the half spin, and we're gonna slash. So the first one was slash down, the second one slash up.
Yeah, you're fine.
Bam!
Nice.
Ooh. And then I continue on. It was 15 feet, but I'm jumping 30 feet while spinning, and I land however far away that lands me. Hopefully far enough that I clear his face.
So like that.
I mean, sure. If we got 30 feet across and didn't have any barrier that slowed down that.
No.
Uh-oh.
Oh look! Did it just fail?
He spits you up.
Yes, actually he does.
Nice.
No, wait. That was my constitution check? I'm pretty
You're
sure that was supposed to be the
targeted,
worm.
So
Go ahead and
It doesn't
re-roll,
matter.
dude. Go ahead and re-roll.
It's a 2. Yeah. I was rolling for him. It was against you, but it doesn't matter because a 2's not gonna do it.
Does it also need to roll for whether or not it's going to turn more into stone?
End of its turn.
Okay.
But as you do the more damage to it, it kind of like constricts a little bit and spits Hind out.
Yeah!
Oh, thank goodness. I thought you were going forever. Ugh.
You are still dripping with the acid that is all over your body, but you're no longer grappled or restrained.
Well, you throw me where I end up. Cool.
I was just hoping he didn't land on me in all of his sliminess. I'm like, yes, land him over there.
Oh,
Yeah!
This poor Remora is... Wow. Holy shit.
him.
Nice.
And so they'd all kind of done a little corkscrew following Ren around, and then as she passes along, they kind of swirl around her a little bit and kind of arc back up and back around, and just as Hind kind of like flies out of its mouth, they all sort of swarm around and fly straight down its gullet, and then just sort of like burst out through its body, while the little heat things start kind of popping off its back, and the thing just gets splayed open and lays down there as these little moored enchanting cherubs just sort of circle around it, kind of with their arms crossed, looking all very proud of their kill.
As the rest of it turns to stone.
Maybe actually do your roll. Target it again and then do your roll.
No, perhaps we ought to stop while we're ahead. We have warmth. Let's take a little nap if you can handle the stench.
Sleep for the rest of the night, sleep in a little bit tomorrow.
I don't smell anything. As I'm coated in acid and gunk and blood.
You are the smell.
It does fail.
Oh shit! Is that 3?
No, I think it's 2. I don't know.
That's true. We killed that thing very quickly.
We were in combat for like half an hour.
It got 2 turns. Maybe 3?
It's like 4.
It says it's round 4 now. So 3.
4, because it died on its 4th turn.
Can you do anything about the acid around you?
Is there acid around me? I will move.
Has
Jumps
anyone
on Hind and hugs him, covered in acid.
does anyone have the ability to melt some more snow so we can wash them off?
I mean, there's like water all around here because it's
I
kind
thought
of
it fell through the crevice. It didn't. We
It's,
need to
Those
get
it's
you
deep
washed
melting.
off.
spines.
It's melting into the ground.
I'm gonna walk behind as he's just covered in this thing's.
Honestly, at this point, it's covered. I see it die, and then I see that I'm still covered in like bubbling, melting acid. I'm stripping plate armor off, just like get this shit off of me. It'll be fine. I'm dying of acid poisoning.
And Ren's trying to like get water on him, and then she stops and looks at herself and shakes her head, and then she casts prestidigitation on him and starts to magically get all of the
I
acid
will
cleaned off.
I will follow suit and also cast prestidigitation and help her out to get him free of the acid, and I'll just
I
look at
will
him.
also cast prestidigitation. No.
I'll just look at him.
Try
and
to
say,
hold still.
I
We'll have you
I
cleaned up
strip off
shortly.
one or two more plates, and I stop, and I look at you guys. You guys are amazing. How do you? I don't even understand. Thank you.
Well, it's either that or have to put up with your smell.
Well,
Victor's great.
I don't smell anything. I mean, I was concerned more with the pain of the acid, but
Of course, I'm
So-
teasing you.
As we're cleaning him up, I'm just gonna look at him and I'm gonna say, usually when they tell these stories, it's the little guy that gets swallowed, not the big one.
Yes,
Alright.
he had a mighty appetite, didn't he?
who makes a better meal?
Hi, did you see that picture?
I'm looking at it now. Oh, oh God!
That's horrible.
Oh, fuck. I gotta close that. I can't. Wow. Yikes.
You won't be eating pea soup for a while.
If not for Kemmler's heel, I definitely would have been looking like that for sure. Oh man. Oh, that was close.
Oh, you guys.
I mean, I've been hurt before, but that thing hit hard.
Well, look on the bright side. Now you've had something inside you, and you've been inside something.
Was that
Oh.
supposed to be the bright side? I
It's
don't.
the bright side for me. I get to tell the story.
I don't think I'm following. That sounds like a horrible
Ollie's
story.
just got this. Ollie's just got this shit-eating grin. He's loving this.
Well, are you guys okay?
Yeah,
I
I'm.
just got your text, Zach.
The only thing
think
is,
I'm-
I got
Your little
woken up.
message.
No worse for the wear, but perhaps we ought to move on from this place in case there's any more of its friends. Does anyone know if those things travel in packs?
I've never seen one of them before.
I'm a little uneasy about staying put.
Okay.
I'm sorry, guys, about all the noise. I'll be back in a second. Please ignore
No
me and
worries.
continue.
I continue to ignore him.
To ignore the ignoring.
So, just out of curiosity, the little spines that Heinrich cut off of it, you said they kind of melted into the ice. Are those like staying hot? Is that something that we could like put under our beds without burning ourselves alive in our sleep, or something that? What do they call that? Where they put a pan under the bed to keep it hot? I forget what those are called.
You could
Bones and
put
stuff.
hot coals underneath, like have a slab with hot coals you put underneath it.
Exactly. I'm wondering if we could use those to warm at night, or if they just like cool off.
Why are there links to this but not it?
Kai says he wants to be done for the night.
I want to be done for the night too. I gotta. Go
I
to bed
knew that
soon.
already. And I said, "Oh, I'm done, Kai. I can't play anymore." I said, and I know Drax is feeling the same way because he has to go to bed. He always wants to go to bed by this time. Kai says, "Why don't you tell them that so I don't look like the bad guy?"
I'm about ready to.
Well, it is 11 o'clock y'all's time. All of you guys are in the same time zone. Do you know that?
There's an ad from
No,
Caltech
we're
in
not.
here.
Why aren't you?
They're in Colorado.
We're-
Colorado.
Yes.
But aren't you 2 hours? So you're in Mountain
No.
Time Zone, right?
Mountain? Yeah. So it's 10.
What part of? So are you like in Western Colorado?
Colorado.
Some part of Colorado is 2 hours different. So I'm wondering if you're in the western part of Colorado.
Where? Yeah. No, I'm in Central Colorado, so it's mountain.
Maybe I'm just remembering wrong. It's been a while because I mean I spend summers there sometimes, but I can't remember anymore. Maybe it's all an hour different from me only.
Kason and Kai are 11 o'clock.
Page 38 of that, Kason.
I'm probably just
All right,
remembering wrong.
let's see.
Obviously. Need to go to Colorado and do some proper fishing.
Do the same.
Where it is not so bloody hot.
It is amazing to me that they have this much detail about that one creature.
What do you mean?
The ecology of Rimmerhaz, and it's like 1, 2, 3, 4 pages.
Wow. Someone really liked these things.
So the front page is broken, but you can access like 1 through like 139 or 159 or something like that. All the old Dragon magazines.
Awesome. Well, that'll keep me occupied for at least a week.
And it's all. I mean, what's crazy about this is I've actually got some of the physical. I have that actual magazine like over on my desk over there.
Very cool.
These are all ones that I like bought as a kid at the bookstore and stuff.
I feel kind of bad because I watch Critical Role and Saf does these great spellcastings, and when I do one, I completely forget about it in the heat of the moment.
Spellcasting is weird,
It's all good.
dude.
It's all good.
And to be honest with you, I had already used that one and I had written down in my Google Drive the description I had done the first time. And I just reread it and remembered it and then just delivered it again. Slightly different, of course, because, you know, the first time I didn't have to pull earth from behind my ear, but, you know.
I need to just write down what kind of components, like that spell major image has requires a bit of fleece, and I've got another one that requires like what is it? Invisibility has. What invisibility has?
Whoops.
You dropped your phone down the toilet?
Right.
Nope, I dropped a fork in the sink. Yes.
Need minions to do
Yes,
your dishes for you.
I do. I do da diddly day. It was bad.
Well, you guys were an awesome vacation. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I wasn't aware I was the vacation.
You
Resort.
are. Well, now you know.
I am a source of vacation destination.
This is so wrong.
I'm scared to see.
All of peoples come from far and wide.
To stay at tracks. Oh my word!
Oh god. The username alone. God.
That's messed
I
up.
hadn't even noticed that. I'm not sure how I feel about all the images being previewed in the thread.
I don't. I just don't. I don't know what to do. And this guy just like, yeah, I'm gonna let it happen. Oh dear me.
Oh, what the hell am I watching? Wow.
Oh
Okay.
man.
Wow.
Sorry, she blows. I'm sorry. That's fantastic.
Jason?
Yeah, I'm here.
There's a public beta of Battletech 1.1.
Oh, really?
Looks like it may be kind of incredible.
I remember what you were saying they were about putting into it. Is it on Steam like right now, or do you have to do something
Yeah,
special?
you gotta switch to the beta version. You know how to do that?
Yeah, I've done that with games. Oh,
Do before
while
gigs. See you next Tuesday.
it'd be 4 hours, I'd have it done before morning.
8 minutes. Sorry. You're really quiet, by the way.
Oh, sorry. Hang on. Is that any better?
Sound
No.
normal
You're
for
really
me.
quiet.
You all sound normal to me.
Okay. So next week I will still be here, but we've got family coming in from out of state. I have every intention of being here, but things may or may not happen. I don't know, but I have every intention of being here. So, just in case.
Okay.
I currently plan to be here next week, depending on how. It's the first day of a new group, and I'm new to teaching this course. So depending on how it goes, like the group I started today are like amazing and wonderful. So I was able to be here tonight. I should be good for next Monday, unless something goes horribly wrong. Or traffic decides to screw me over again. And then the week after that, I'm out of town. And the week after that, it's a little bit iffy. Because everything in my world sucks.
I'm sorry to hear that.
It doesn't really suck, it's just in a sucky transition right now.
Yeah.
And everything I've been learning to do for the last 4 months has a major update and change in curriculum that I have to learn in. I have to learn the new curriculum in a week's time for the July 9th start date, and then I work 2 weeks, and then I have a week off to prepare the new curriculum for the class the week after that. So it's really July is gonna suck.
Sleeper.
Wow.
So yeah, I'll do the best I can to be here, but I might be a little iffy for a while.
Okay.
But I'll do my
Don't be
best.
too iffy.
I will do my best not to be iffy at all, but my whole life is iffy right now.
That's understandable.
I basically get 3 to 4 hours of being awake, and most of that time is spent studying or prepping. Except for my Monday vacation at Drax.
Well,
Yeah.
I am absolutely flattered that you choose to spend that time with us. So
Oh, are you kidding? It's fantastic.
Well, I was gonna wait for little Hind there, but
He's not coming back.
We will miss you, Hind.
All right, I'm going to bed. You guys have a great night, and thanks for a lovely time.
Yeah,
Good night,
good
Saf.
night.
I believe
Sleep
I'm
well,
headed
Saf.
that way too.
Thanks. You guys too.
I'm gonna do the same. Good night, guys.
Good night, everybody.
Night.
User
Had a
disconnected
blast.
from your channel.
Thanks again, as always, Kai.
Yeah, no problem.
User disconnected from your channel. User disconnected from your channel. User disconnected from your channel.
seat.